Did I stutter?
He has time, launches it to the end zone. Touchdown! Terrence Williams!
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
The 2011 winner of the Heisman Trophy is Robert Griffin III, RG3!
Welcome to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Langoliers, base hit to center, and the Baylor Bears win their first Big 12 tournament championship.
Their fat little girlfriends are telling them what they want to hear, which is how great you are.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122.
Hello? You play to win the game.
Yep, just ready for OU.
You can't handle the truth.
Here's Drake Toll.
And welcome into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. It is Friday, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend. We are right there. We're on top of it. And this weekend is Sweet 16 action, not just on the men's side. No, not so fast. On the women's side, too. The Baylor Lady Bears in the Sweet 16. The Baylor Bears in the Sweet 16. You get a Sweet 16. You get a Sweet 16.
I thought you were going to say, like, not just the men's, but also the horses. Equestrian madness is coming up.
In the Big 12 championship this weekend.
Okay, so not 16, just one of them.
Yeah, four of them. Big 12 championship meet. Hey, we got a big show here for you today. We got a big show for you today. How about a little bit of, what was that?
Big. I guess it's a big Sweet 16, or a big show. Big Sweet 16, too.
Call in 254-339-1122. Here's what we got for you today, all day long. How about a little bit of, what is it, 12:30. 12:30, John Fanta joins the show. John Fanta is play-by-play on Fox. John calls games the Big East. He knows a lot about Villanova. He joins the show, Fox analyst John Fanta. Pat Bradley, PB, from the SEC Network, joins the show at 1:15. Big guy on the SEC Network, basketball analyst from SEC Network.
Just means more.
How about it? Trinity Oliver joins the show. She comes on. That is going to be at 1:30 today, 1:35. Trinity Oliver on Baylor women's basketball. We got a big show. We're going to hear from Coach Rodriguez, hear from Coach Moore. Both of those guys in their postgame or their pregame press conferences, opening up conference play on the softball side. Baseball at TCU this weekend. Volleyball has number 2 Texas tonight. Tennis plays this weekend. Equestrian Big 12 championship. Call us 254-339-1122. The only way you can call though is if you have something to ask us about equestrian.
Yeah, only equestrian topics today.
Only equestrian.
Nothing to do with any of the other Baylor sports that are going on right now. Only equestrian. This is for the horses, by the horses.
Wow.
Yep.
With the horses.
With the horses. Wouldn't you agree?
254-339-1122. Call line is open. We'll get to those as soon as we can. How about this? So we got, open up the text line, too. Text line, 254-339-1122. You can text us. We're going to pick our Sweet 16s today.
Let's do it.
We're going to do a Sweet 16 breakdown. We're not going to do it. Not yet, but we're going to do it. Yes. We're going to get there to the point where we break down our Sweet 16, what our picks are, why our picks are. Gosh. A little bit of remember what did we used to call that back in the day when we would pick games?
Oh, gosh, it's been so long. Remind me, was it lick 'em and
stick 'em?
Gosh, it'll come to me. It'll come to me. What do you think? What was it that we used to do?
Well, we would pick games. Sick 'em, pick 'em.
Oh, golly.
Interesting.
Sick 'em, lick 'em. When was that? Sick 'em, lick 'em.
Will you guys open the curtains of the Lord? It's so dark.
That's a whole nother segment we do where we bring on guests and we just we sick 'em. We sick them, and then if they're lucky, we lick them.
How about a big show today? Really, really big show today. You got Baylor and Villanova breakdown. We're going to have analysts on throughout the show to talk about Baylor and Villanova and what we've got coming up in that matchup. Jeremiah Robinson-Earl is going to be a factor for Nova. He's a good big man. Baylor, can they put up with him? Can they put up with him in the game on Saturday? And before we get to Marshall's calling in. Got a couple questions right here. Before we get to Marshall, J.D., One, I want to know, what is the scenario in which Baylor loses to Villanova?
Yeah. I think the biggest scenario is 2 things have to happen, and we prefaced it a little bit yesterday. Villanova has to win the rebounding battle substantially. Like Villanova has to dominate the boards. And I don't foresee that happening, but for Villanova, that's the key. You got to get more possessions and be able to keep Baylor to just one shot. Second part of that is Villanova has to shoot the lights out. Like I'm talking about especially beyond the arc, especially in March. That is the differentiating factor, being able to make big shots from deep. You got to trade threes for twos, and Villanova has to do that effectively in order to have a chance to beat Baylor. All things considered, with Baylor's perimeter defense, I don't foresee that happening. And with what Baylor brings down low with the physicality of guys like Vital, Everyday John, Chama Chachua, I don't think that Villanova will have enough depth down low to be able to out-rebound. And definitely, like I said, with perimeter defense, don't think they're going to be able to shoot that well either. So all things considered, I think that there's no way that Baylor loses this game. Maybe that's going to be a cold take here in about 3 days. I hope not. But all things considered, shooting and rebounding is going to be the biggest thing for Villanova to find a way to beat Baylor.
Sorry, I had to go get my pen.
No, I love it. I love it. I love it.
But I did hear rebounding and shooting.
Yeah.
I was listening the whole time, rebounding and shooting. We had Scotty B, the Baylor King, tweeted at us this morning and had some breaking news for us. Did you see Shaka Smart to Marquette might be a thing? Lon Kruger retires, and now Shaka Smart to Marquette.
And his tweet afterwards
Might
says it's a Shaka. He left for a better.
Pew, 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 pew.
Scotty B, man.
Marshall is on the Impact Health Labs caller line. Marshall, what's going on, man?
Hey, good morning, fellas. Isn't it a great day to sick 'em?
Good morning.
Always is.
So actually, I'm going to throw in a couple extra questions. My first, most important, pressing question is, how come y'all haven't won an Emmy yet? Y'all have Armstrong, TRex, Stephen from Virginia, Scotty B.
Marshall Burns? Come on. Marshall
Burns,
give it a look. Turn the camera around to yourself.
Well, I don't like to brag.
I will brag for you. You deserve it.
Hey, okay, so I had a couple of questions. I didn't get to really watch the show yesterday, so I listened to it last night at work. And I was just interested in some of the quarterback competitions that y'all saw. In particular, I remember Gary Bohannon, how excited I was for Baylor to grab him. And when I saw him, against a couple of FCS teams, the defenders were just bouncing off of him like it was Vince Young, but a sober version of Vince Young playing. But anyway, as far as he goes, I knew he could run and all that, but has his passing improved? Because other than his runs, I wasn't quite feeling the passing from him. Do you see a different, better passer from him this year?
I don't know. The problem for me, Marshall, right now with assessing a guy like Gary Bohannon at the quarterback spot is the fact we haven't seen him in live action. So in drills, I can go out and drill. JD can go out and drill. We can look decent. I can put a football at 5 yards into somebody's bread basket just because I've played before. Guy like Gary Bohannon, I saw really good signs from him with his legs. I think he's built. His physique is there. That said, I still don't know if you're going to get it with the arm. I don't know if we're seeing the pocket passer, which he's not going to be a pocket passer, but I still have a lot of doubts with his arm. I'll tell you, they didn't throw a lot of long balls that I saw, but the long ball that I did see, he threw a better one than Gary Bohannon, or a better one than Jacob Zeno, I'm sorry. That said, it was one long ball to a tight end, just airing the thing out there to just see kind of what you can do on a route. So I don't think you can take much away from one throw that Zeno underthrew. But I'll tell you this, Marshall, if you're going to have somebody that's a pocket passer or somebody who's going to throw a deep ball, it's not going to be Gary Bohannon still. He still doesn't have that yet.
Yeah, and he can uncork it. I'm glad you said that. He absolutely has, and to the best of my knowledge, the biggest arm in this whole room. I don't know what Kyron Drones brings to the table in that department, but Gary Bohannon has a big arm. But I'm glad you said that. I think it'll be a different offense if you see Gary Bohannon in the game. I think whether you have Zeno as your guy day one, or Bohannon as your guy day one, or Shapen as your guy day one, I hope this staff figures it out early and can tailor their scheme to whoever's behind center. Because quite frankly, Bohannon hasn't been asked to do what Charlie Brewer did a year ago. We saw completely different packages, different plays, different schemes when you had number 11 in the game. So we know he's a freak athlete. We know he can, like you said, just take defenders with him for 4 yards. What he does throwing the ball, we don't know exactly, what he's going to bring in to the table with that. So all things considered, what he does throwing the football is still to be determined, but we know he's a great athlete, and I think they should utilize that regardless if he's the guy day one or not.
Marshall, based off of what you saw last season on the field, who would you put at starting quarterback to start the year?
Well, I can tell you, I went to the Big 12 championship game, and I remember when Charlie got banged up and they pulled him out, and then they brought in Jerry Bohannon, and he he kind of showed to me what he could do against Division I opponents, I guess, because like I said, when I saw him against FCS, he was just a god in football cleats. But once I saw him against Division I, he kind of rounded down a little bit. And I was a little unimpressed with him. Maybe the coaches were too, because they pulled him out and they brought in Zeno. And I had already told my friends before they pulled in Zeno, I was texting, I said, they need to bring in Zeno because I love the kid. I heard so much about him. I loved what I saw. And sure enough, it took him about 2 plays and he throws a touchdown.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I'm leaning towards Zeno. And I guess maybe my concern is, if he does win out, doesn't that kind of guarantee that Jerry might enter a transfer portal? It sounds like.
The thing is, with a guy like Gary, he was recruited by Alabama to play linebacker. I mean, he wants to play quarterback. He's a guy that could really make his own at a couple different colleges. The problem with the transfer portal is everybody's in it right now. So if Gary goes to transfer portal, he's been on a recruiting trip to Alabama. He's seen those facilities. So when he enters the portal and the only calls that he gets for quarterback, which isn't no knock to him, it's just the way the portal goes right now. When the only calls that he gets at quarterback are from Louisiana Tech or Southern Mississippi or Georgia State, and he goes and sees those facilities compared to what he's been at Baylor, what he saw on his trip to Alabama. If I'm Gary Bohannon, I don't want that. I want to play quarterback and I want to vie for that at Baylor. But if he doesn't get the job, what's your prospect of playing?
Yeah, and I think the hard part, too, at this point in the season, if you're a quarterback looking to start game one, you've already transferred and made your home somewhere else because spring football is now kicking off. You got guys already getting ahead of where Gary would be if he goes to another program. So guys will already be more indoctrinated into their system, have the installs. And so if I'm Gary Bohannon and I transfer after spring football, I'm already 2 steps behind as opposed to the step I was already going to be behind, getting to a new program and having to get comfortable with a new teammate. So all things considered, yeah, I think it'd be tough to transfer after spring football and have a Power 5 program be able to take a shot at you. But, I mean, he's going to have a role here at Baylor, whether he's the guy or not, in my opinion. He's going to be the guy who, gets it on 3rd and 2 and his quarterback power and he bowls over for 4 more yards. He can be that guy for Baylor next season without a doubt. So it depends on what Gary Bohannon wants. And truthfully, I mean, how close he wants to be to home because he has a newborn son. He has a family that he's starting now. So being in Arkansas could be something that is appealing to a guy like Gary Bohannon. But he'll have a role at Baylor without a doubt.
What else you got, Marshall?
Okay, so I'm going to piggyback off of that tweet I noticed from Scotty D earlier. I was just curious who Texas is actually thinking of bringing on, because surely they're not going to just let him walk without a contingency plan.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, what are the odds they hire the head coach at Abilene Christian?
I love it.
I don't know. I don't know about it, man. I think it's going to be tough. The murmurs of a possible Chris Beard, them going after Chris Beard, I don't think that'll happen. They don't like to take from what they call little brother, but Chris Beard would win there right away. He could win anywhere right away. So I don't know. I think that's going to be a wild coaching hire. I mean, I don't want to go coach at Texas.
I was going to say, how attractive is that job right now?
0.
You're like, is it that attractive? I guess you're still competing for Big 12 titles. Like, they had a good team, but at the same time, you have all these boosters that are just down your neck. Not the same as football, but still, you're still in Austin. You're still at UT. Like, that's still tough.
Ask Tom Herman how attractive that job is. You either win a championship at Texas, or they throw you out like yesterday's trash. The standard is so high at Texas, it's ridiculous.
It's unreachable. Unreachable.
No coach can do it.
No. How about? Oh my goodness, there was a Rick Barnes tweet. Somebody put out there that Rick Barnes will be the next coach at Texas. I mean, maybe. Hey, maybe Rick Barnes is the guy they go with back from Tennessee. Marshall, how about this? In honor of it being a big weekend, I'm gonna go get a steak either tonight or tomorrow, just because I want a steak. If you could go to one steakhouse with one Big 12 basketball coach that still remains, which there are not that many of them, it can't be Scott Drew either. It's got to be somebody else. Who are we going with? Who are you going to get a steak with, and which steakhouse?
Let's see. I like a I-35 Prime. That's a very, very good
Prime.
Good meal there. I'm trying to think of the best personality to go with. I wish wish Mike Leach was still there.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of well, I'll go with Jerome Tang since you stole Scott Drew from me.
Jerome Tang. I'll take it. Jerome Tang at I-35 Prime. I love it. And then Marshall, you told us you're not a big Disney guy, are you?
Not too much, nah.
That's all right. We can pass
We'll let it
over
go.
the Disneys. But hey, Marshall, great call, man. Always good to hear from you.
Hey, I just want to let y'all know I work overnight, so I stay up until 11 to try and check y'all out. Love y'all's show. I love the afternoon show. Keep doing what you're doing. I always got your back.
Thanks, Marshall.
Thanks, Marshall. Always good to hear from you. All the good feedback, too. Call in anytime. This is your show. It's not my show. It's not your show. It's the Caller's Show. Speaking of the Caller's Show, here is our probably Hall of Fame caller number 113th call today.
Wow.
113 as of today. TRex, welcome on to Up Tempo.
Oh, Lord. 113, huh?
113.
Like a dinosaur.
Got to look yourself in the mirror and say, what am I doing?
113 times 5 minutes I'll never get back.
Wow, that's a lot of minutes.
Time well spent, though.
That's a lot of minutes. Oh, man, what a day for a News Dump Friday, don't you say? I mean, the Austin Statesman press is alive this morning. Woo! Man, hey, the smartest thing Shaka ever did besides growing his hair out was going to Marquette. That is confirmed, in fact. He saw the writing on the wall. Get out of Austin. No one wants to be there. So can't blame the guy. But, man, God, it's just so good to know that he'll have so many opportunities to win a Final Four with all those 4- and 5-star recruits at Marquette. Oh, wait. Sorry. That was when he was in Austin. Dang. Yeah, good luck.
Boom. I mean, there's been some talent come out of Marquette now. Jimmy Butler, Dwayne Wade.
Let me talk my trash, all right? Let me talk.
John Morant. He was Murray
Right?
State. Wasn't he Murray State?
And John Morant was Murray State.
Or was he
That's
Morehead
true.
State?
That's true. T-Rex, so outside of Shaka Smart, the news dump today, how are you feeling going into a weekend where both the men and women are competing in the Sweet 16?
Hey, I feel good, man. I cleared my Saturday slate. I actually had a chance to go down to San Antonio this weekend. Got a text last night, offered some tickets, but unfortunately had to do the right thing, saving up for that Final Four trip to Indy. So we'll take care of business. I know the women will take care of business, and, we'll be all right. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great Saturday. It's going to be a whole good weekend. I'm going to the baseball game in TCU tonight to see how many innings it takes before I get thrown out. It'll be a good old time. I'll be like that minor league coach that gets thrown out every game. I'll roll on the field and throw the home base plate around or something.
The one that army crawls and grabs a rosin bag and like a grenade.
What's the over-under on innings for you? What's the over-under set at?
On me getting thrown out?
Yeah.
6.
Oh, it's like 1 inning.
You only got 1 inning? I'll take the over.
Give me the under. Less than an inning.
On the second out, they're like, hey.
It's in for work, bro. Like, it's in for work.
Yeah. He's got to
go. There you go.
And I'm in general admission seating, so I won't even be seated.
Oh, wow.
They'll be on the grass.
This might not
So,
T-Rex, what else you got for us?
Oh, man, you know what else I got for you? It's senior day for women's tennis today at 12. Couldn't make it down. So if you're in Waco, I'm sure Scotty B will be there. Big tennis energy from Scotty B. Shout out to those seniors. I believe we're still second place in the Big 12 right now. We may be tied for first if the Texas losses didn't count yet. I think we played Texas one more time. So that might not even be counted yet. We may be tied for first. I don't know. Men's tennis also Sunday at SMU. I'll be there. Love me some men's tennis. Man, this is a great weekend. Equestrian in the Big 12 Championship this weekend. I think we got some softball on the road. We got acrobatics and tumbling tomorrow in Waco. If you can go there, get there. Soccer, volleyball, man. It's just a great weekend to be a Bear.
Soccer.
Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays are for Bears.
Oh, that's terrible.
Is Equestrian televised?
I think this one is. Yeah, this one is.
I don't believe so. And they're not allowing fans because...
This one's televised.
It better be televised.
This one's televised. I'll text you the link. And I'll text anybody else the link that wants it.
It's being streamed. Okay, that makes sense. Well, then there we go. Post the link, baby. Send me the link. Slide in my DMs, Drake.
Nice. Hey, T-Rex, one steakhouse. Your favorite steakhouse with your favorite Big 12 basketball coach that's not Scott Drew. Who are you going with and where?
All right. Total disclosure. I have this weird texture issue thing, so I'm not a big steak guy.
T-Rex.
So I don't eat a lot of steak, so I don't really have a favorite steakhouse.
You a herbivore? Are you a what?
No, I eat meat. Don't worry.
Presbyterian.
I eat the entire cow.
Pentecostal.
He's a Presbyterian.
I just, I don't get it. I mean, it's got to be like a nice filet mignon or, a nice, very lean, tender juiciness, more expensive than I can afford on a regular basis.
I accept.
But you know what? I'm gonna take Shaka Smart on his departing trip. It'd be like a farewell date.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I mean, you may be kind of crunched for time.
As a gentleman, I will let the woman pick. So Shaka, wherever she wants to go.
Pew 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 pew. How about Frozen or Bolt?
What was the second one? Bolt?
Exactly.
Yeah, Bolt.
Exactly.
Bolt.
Never heard of her, so I'm going to go with Frozen.
Okay. That's fine. I'll accept. How about, Armstrong's a Bolt guy?
Really?
Jeez.
Oh, he's a Bolt guy, but he's not a Nike Bolt guy? What a loser.
I am not a Nike Bolt guy. I will die on that hill.
Frozen's also trash.
Aladdin or Hercules?
I haven't seen Bolt since I was like 7, though.
Really? Is that old?
Aladdin or Hercules?
I'm gonna go with Aladdin simply because it has a live action and Hercules doesn't, except for the TV show. The TV show is terrible.
Didn't see the live action of Aladdin.
Clapping for your Aladdin
It's
choice.
not a Disney live action show. It was like Xena or whatever. Xena. It's not good.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for your call, T-Rex, as always.
Hey, SicEm Bears. Bears by 90 tomorrow.
Bears by 90 over Villanova. Over the Noves.
I feel like Bolt's that movie that's always on in like the dentist office. I don't know if that's true, but every time.
Bolt, yeah.
It's just one of those movies
I haven't
that's
seen
just
Bolt.
on.
Like when you get an MRI and they're like, well, we can show you either Bolt or like Space Jam. It's like, well, I guess I'll take Space Jam. Space Jam's not working right now.
You have to take
I guess I'll take Bolt.
Yeah, I can't wait to
Bolt
watch
is the
this.
one about the dog who thinks he's an actor, right?
Yeah, it's the TV
Oh,
dog.
yeah, okay.
He thinks he's an actor, but he thinks it's real life.
Dude, I couldn't buy into that one personally.
Bolt?
I couldn't.
I liked it. I liked it when I was little.
The talking toys, the monsters through the closet, but the dog, you couldn't buy into the dog.
Couldn't buy into the dog. The dog just
well, it's not Pixar.
too far fetched.
I don't think
that one just.
Bolt isn't Pixar.
That one
I need
pushed
an
the
ice
barrier.
princess and not so much a talking dog.
Frozen's real good though.
All right.
Frozen's good. Frozen might be a classic.
Folks,
Definitely.
we've got an anonymous caller here. Matt in DC, call back in. I saw you trying to get in, but we got an anonymous caller here.
There we go.
And that can only mean one thing.
Shaka Smart.
Actually, it can mean multiple things.
Shaka Smart.
Anonymous caller, welcome on to Up-Tempo.
Oh,
Yeah, it can only mean one thing.
it's better Bigfoot. Hang on, give me a minute.
It's almost better now that we
Sorry, I'm
know.
on the toilet. Anyway, I want to call in and congratulate my friend Shaka Smart on a great season at UT. Hey, what's that, Bigfoot Jr.? He left for Marquette. Oh my God! What a dumpster fire program!
Baylor Bigfoot.
Anyway, guys, I was wondering whether or not you think I should go to UT and take the head coaching job. My friend Jesse Lopez already declined it, so I think I should be next in line.
I think I don't know. It's either you or Rick Barnes. Who do you have more confidence in, Baylor Bigfoot, yourself or Rick Barnes?
Oh, Rick Barnes. Whoa, great friend, great legend. After he left UT, if he comes back, he's a hater. I think I'm going to have to say me, but I'm going to decline the job because I'm waiting for a Baylor job as president of Baylor University.
I thought Bigfoot Jr. was committed to BU already. Would that not be a conflict of interest, coaching against your own kid?
What?
I thought Bigfoot Jr. was committed.
Good point, JD. He played football.
Okay.
Okay.
All's
How about Baylor Bigfoot? How about if RG3 takes the job? I know you and RG3 play together.
We're good friends. Me, him, and Quincy H used to go out and eat all the time. I think if he took the job, I would have to talk him down from the ledge.
Talk him down from the ledge.
RG3 thinking the Texas basketball coaching job.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Because Baylor Bigfoot played with them.
I hope that breaks.
Baylor Bigfoot.
I think Kevin Durant would be a great choice for the next Texas head coach.
What do you think about the games tomorrow with Baylor and Villanova? Who do you think is going to win that?
Well, I think Baylor's going to have to play some solid defense, even though Villanova lost Colin Gillespie earlier in the season. Jay Wright's still a good head coach. That being said, I think Baylor's going to pull it out.
Yeah, Baylor. I think Baylor
Unlike
will.
Arkansas, I think Oral Roberts is going to pull another big upset.
He's got Oral.
Wow.
He's got Oral Roberts winning it all.
Confirmed.
Baylor Bigfoot.
Not winning it all, just beating Arkansas.
Oh, just beating Arkansas, not beating Baylor.
Yeah,
What's your
Baylor winning it all? Come on.
What's your favorite steakhouse, Baylor Bigfoot? I know big feet like meat.
So many to choose from.
And then the Big 12 coach that you would eat there with.
What was that last part?
The Big 12 coach that you would eat at that steakhouse with.
And it can't be Scott Drew, right?
It cannot be Scott Drew, right?
Okay. If we're talking head coaches, I'd want to take out Bob Huggins. He seems like he's a great guy, and he's very undervalued.
You could eat a lot of steak.
And underappreciated.
He's undervalued. So are you paying for the meal then?
Heck no, he's paying.
Yeah.
He's a gajillionaire.
Undervalued, though.
Baylor
Bob
Bigfoot.
Huggins would actually be a good.
Frozen or Bolt?
Bolt as in Bolt 24? That stupid commercial with Fernando Tatis Jr.?
No, Bolt with the dog. That's good, though.
Oh, the dog! Yeah, I'll have to go Bolt.
Bolt over Frozen. Wow. Aladdin or Hercules?
Tough one, guys. Some people say Hercules was based on me in college, but I'm going to have to go with Aladdin.
Aladdin locks it in. Baylor Bigfoot, thanks for your call as always.
You know, guys, I think I would take Bob Huggins to Double R Burgers. That place is awesome. Thanks so much for the meet and greet at Double R, guys. Really appreciate all the fans who came out and supported me. I like it, but listen.
It says Browning break for I want to talk about shotgun. That was his caller ID. Browning break for I want to talk about shotgun.
I can't believe that was the first time he's ever called in. And he's listened for so long.
I know.
Long
This is his
time
first
listener.
call.
Long time
First
listener.
time caller.
Oh my
First time
gosh.
caller,
The
long time
Bolt
listener.
24 commercial with Fernando Tatis Jr. I forgot that existed.
That's a horrible
That's
commercial.
terrible.
It is so bad.
That is terrible.
What do you say? It's not cool to break the rules. Then he goes, yes, it is.
It also sucks so much that I love Fernando Tatis Jr. Ever since he hit that grand slam in that dude's face when they're up like 13-0, I loved that.
Funny.
And also Slam Diego is just fun to say.
Yeah, Slam Diego's. Especially they've been
Diego.
bad for so long. Good for the Padres.
Oh my gosh.
That commercial's tough.
All right, hey, Matt in DC, try to call us again. I know he's getting in and out right here. I think it's he's kind of here we got it. He's on the line. He's on the hook. We got him on the hook. Matt in DC, can you hear us? Do you got auto screen aboard? Do you got us, Matt in DC? Matt in DC, I think it's going to work this time. Can you hear us?
We're close. I can tell we're close.
I feel it.
From the nation's capital. This is not easy. He's calling with Secret Service in his backyard.
Nothing. And it was aborted. I think he had bad service. You can text us, Matt in DC. All right, I'm Drake Toll. It's J.D. Pickell. Armstrong Sims and Andrew Robertson here. Hey, we got a reader today. Do you know that?
I don't even know her.
Reader. Hardly know her. I got a reader today. But I'm Drake Toll. It's J.D. Pickell, Armstrong Sims, Andrew Robertson in the studio. When we come back, we're going to pick our Sweet 16. Sweet, sweet, sweet victory. You ready?
Sweet Caroline.
Let's do it. This is Up Tempo. It was the first hour of SicEm365's Up Tempo is brought to you by Banson Business Services, owned by Baylor grad and SicEm365 premium member Jonathan Green. Banson Business Services offers a full suite of business support and financial services. Banson specializes in bookkeeping, payroll, outsourced CFO services, and consulting. They can even help you with your taxes. Their business helps you run your business. Visit SicEm365.com/Banson for more information. Again, hour number one of Up Tempo is sponsored by Banson Business Services. This is Up Tempo.
It was a busy day in women's basketball yesterday as the round of 32 concluded. 8 more teams punched tickets to the Sweet 16. Starting with upsets, 6 seed Oregon toppled 3 seed Georgia 57-50, and 6 seed Texas advanced past 3 seed UCLA 71-62. Elsewhere, 2 seed Texas A&M snuck by 7 seed Iowa State 84-82 on a buzzer beater in overtime. Questionable calls down the stretch gave the Lady Aggies an advantage for the second tournament game in a row. On the men's side, everything is gearing up for the Sweet 16 that takes place starting on Saturday. Duke freshman Jamin Brakefield plans to transfer from the team. UNC freshman Day'Ron Sharp has declared for the NBA draft. Florida sophomore Trey Mann has declared for the NBA draft, and Pittsburgh's Justin Champagny will also test the NBA waters. In football, it's time for spring ball. Baylor kicked off its spring drills yesterday as media got its first look at the 4-person quarterback battle. Another open practice will take place today. And Texas has paused its spring football practice due to COVID-19. Oklahoma coach Lincoln Riley is protesting TCU quarterback Chandler Morse's eligibility after he transferred from Oklahoma. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. It's been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up-Tempo.
With your Ram truck from Allen Samuels, you may not have to plow through snow and mud or pull heavy loads, but you could. During the Big Finish year-end event, you get a Ram deal like no other. Employee pricing for all, 0% for 84, and no payments for 90 days. Ram 1500 Lone Star for Christmas. No other truck comes close. And ask about Big Finish pricing on Ram Heavy Duty and Ram ProMaster for your business. Happy holidays from Allen Samuels.
How did Edward Jones become one of the biggest financial service companies in the world? By not acting that way. Financial strategies, one-on-one advice, it's a big difference. And that's why Brad Wilson, your Edward Jones financial advisor, makes sense of investing. Experience the difference for yourself. Brad Wilson, 250 Sharon Drive in Woodway, 254-776-4337. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be a part of the Waco community. We're a small family business right here in Central Texas, and our goal is to bring down the cost of healthcare while maintaining high quality. At times like this, the cost of healthcare has never been more important, and unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. That's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through the difficult time. We offer premium MRIs just like a hospital with state-of-the-art technology and specialists, but you'll pay less. Sometimes thousands of dollars less, whether you're using insurance or not. At Ideal MRI, we accept most insurance and there are no hidden costs. Even offering financing if that's needed, everything included in the price, and you'll not get something as a surprise in the mail later on. If you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. They'll know. You can schedule an appointment safely from home online in minutes at idealmri.com or give us a call, 833-IDEAL-MRI, idealmri.com.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance has protected fellow Texans with auto, home, health, and life insurance since 1952. With more than 260,000 square miles of land and 27 million people, that's a lot to cover. Whether you're wrangling cattle or wrangling kids, we're proud to protect Texans in all Texan ways of life.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Waco Custom Marketplace is your home for holiday favorites for parties and the time with family. Various specials available in-store and online. A variety of steak gift boxes with 4 ribeyes for $70, 4 bacon wrap fillets for $55, or 4 New York strips for $50, and all come with steak butter. Fall snack box for watching a game or wrapping presents or hosting people at your house, including summer sausage, split horn, and jalapeno cheese, and salted crackers for only $35. 2 pieces of lobster tails with herb butter and 2 bacon wrap fillets for $60. Order online or call in advance to ensure availability, or drop by Waco Custom Marketplace at 425 Lake Air Drive. Waco Custom Marketplace has a full-service butcher shop for customized orders or cuts of your favorite steaks or beef tenderloin or specially ordered prime rib roast. Plus, what you want with pork, poultry, seafood, and more. Waco Custom Marketplace, 425 Lake Air Drive in Waco, or WacoCustomMarketplace.com.
Welcome back to Up-Tempo on SicEm365 Radio. Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122.
Sit down, Bob. I'm not happy, Bob. Not happy.
Now, back to the Bears Den with Drake Toll and J.D. Pickell for the Blonde Boys Power Hour.
Welcome back into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. It is Friday, folks, and we have, it's not TRex. It's the La Hermano de TRex.
It's
Matt and
Espanol.
DC. El Hermano de TRex.
Okay. I wouldn't know the difference.
El Hermano de TRex. Oh my gosh, it was terminated again.
Hermione was calling the show?
Dirt. He called on a different phone and it worked there for a second until it didn't work anymore. We're gonna break down the Sweet 16 games. I'm gonna give. I really want to talk to Matt and DC. Matt and DC is gonna bring something really just meaty to this show, really fervent. Really
or maybe some popcorn. Maybe some popcorn via College Game Day.
Pew pew pew.
You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. I see what you're doing there.
You know what I'm talking
You're doing there. A little bit of what you're doing right there. Picking what you're laying down. How about this? Let's start right here. What would we consider? What do we think?
Matt Carver
is not available.
Oh.
Did we call him?
Did you call him?
That is cool.
Goodbye.
Imagine answering your phone and being like, "Hey, what's up?" And then be like, "You're on the air."
We've done that before.
Really?
You were there for that, were you not? Steven from Virginia?
We called him? I wasn't there for that.
Armstrong called him and he was like,
for that.
"Hello?" We're like, "Steven, you're on up tempo."
Dude, what a legend. That's awesome. That is cool. Did he ask y'all Bear games?
No.
Well,
I don't know. All right, let's start here. What is your most intriguing matchup coming up out of the Sweet 16?
Dude, I'm really interested in this Loyola Chicago Oregon State game. If you told me a year ago that Loyola Chicago and Oregon State would be playing and Loyola Chicago would be the higher seed, I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? But Loyola Chicago, if they make the Final Four, it'd be the second time in 4 years. I still can't pronounce his name. The big guy, number 25, number 24. Mustache guy. Can't pronounce Kretwig. Say that 5 times fast. But he is a bucket. So fun to watch. And Oregon State's hot, but I think Loyola Chicago is the better team, the best defense in the country, allowing 55 points a game before the Illinois game. So they're gonna be fun to watch, man. I'm excited for this matchup. I think Loyola Chicago keeps rolling. Not to give away any picks too early, but Loyola Chicago, Oregon State. I think we're really going to see what both those programs are made of, and I expect that to be a good game.
Outside of that, is there any major upset that you like out of the Sweet 16?
Creighton's a 5 seed. I think Creighton beats Gonzaga.
Whoa.
I had this in my original bracket. I think Creighton and Gonzaga go toe-to-toe. The way Creighton wins this game is if they can slow the game down. Because Gonzaga, we've seen it time and time again, they bury teams early. They get on the run in that first half, get on the run to open the second half, and then kind of throttle back. So if Creighton can kind of sustain themselves for that first run and for this first part of the second half and just kind of stick around, they don't want to get into a track meet with Gonzaga, but Creighton has the scorers to potentially go toe-to-toe and hang around with Gonzaga. We're going to see it. I think there still needs to be some things that go Creighton's way. But I would I don't know, man. It's March. A lot of things can happen. It's March, and I think Creighton is going to have the firepower to hang with Gonzaga and ultimately pull that upset off.
March is mad, baby. How about it? All right, let's go through here. We're gonna take notes. We're gonna keep it. We're gonna go through our Sweet 16 here. Predict it. Write it down. Everybody's this is gonna be just held in time, okay? Also, I'm gonna try a key lime bang later today.
They have that?
Key lime pie.
No kidding. We got a
new
white gummy bear at the Bear Mart.
You know what we should do? You're making those gifts. Let's
yeah.
It's almost 11:40, so that's where you need to go in the video.
Okay.
What do we? Okay, let's drink it together. Wait.
We do it like this.
Slam it.
Slam it.
3, 2, 1.
Sweet 16.
Wow.
Okay, now
we're
going to cheers it.
What do they call those?
3, 2, 1.
Was that like the NFTs? Like online where that's like the player shooting a shot and they sell it for like $1,000 online?
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Like
What are those? What are those?
Top Shot? Yeah, that we should make NFTs for Up-Tempo.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to do that.
I don't either.
I have no idea.
But JD learned how to make GIFs. He learned how to make GIFs. So he was gifting things throughout the show. So
I'm a giffer.
Cannot believe you just called it a GIF.
Win one for the giffer.
GIF. What do you think it is?
I say GIF.
It's GIF.
Is it? You say GIF?
It's an abbreviation, is it not?
It is abbreviation. That doesn't mean you say it that way.
It is. It does.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, there's like a period. G period, IG period, F. Yeah.
Really?
What's it stand
It's
for?
not a period.
Because it's not an abbreviation. It's an anagram.
All right, what's happening?
Acronym.
It's an it's a
It's a mammogram.
It's an Enneagram.
I think that's.
What are you guys on the Enneagram, by the way? What are you guys on the Enneagram?
I'm a 3-wing. I'm a 3-wing 4.
3-wing 4.
What's your wing?
My wing.
You're an 8.
8-wing 9. 8-wing 7.
I bet you're an 8.
You're
8
8-wing
9.
8. 8-wing 9. Yeah.
I'll say you're 8 9.
Maybe an 8-wing 9.
I'll say
You're
8
not
9.
you're not an 8-wing 7. I don't think.
You know what you are, A-Rob?
I'm thoroughly confused.
Have you heard of the Enneagram?
No.
We'll talk about it.
You haven't heard of the
I'm a
Enneagram?
2-3.
You haven't heard of
You go to Baylor
and you haven't
Dude,
heard of the Enneagram.
I learned the Enneagram so I could talk to
Is this a big
my
thing?
now
That's a really big
girlfriend.
For the folks that are out there and
True
don't know what the Enneagram is,
Yes, that's
you learn the
actually
Enneagram for
true
for
story.
women
It's
because
actually big.
girls will
Big.
ask you date one like what's your Enneagram?
Yeah, I
and
was
that's
like-
make or break.
I was like, I don't know. 100.
Make or break.
That's
100?
make or break. If you're like
Enneagram of personality.
I'm an Enneagram 9 out of 10 on a good day. In a suit, I'm like a 9.5 out of 10.
There's only 9.
That's the joke. It's like
No. You don't understand. There's only 9 of them.
right. The girl asks you like, "What's your Enneagram?" You're like, "I'm like a 9 out of 10."
And we are now seeing Armstrong's
but-
8 qualities.
But see,
He's the challenger.
the challenger.
You're very literal.
The challenger.
You're very literal,
The
aren't
joke
you?
is-
You must be an Enneagram 4, maybe a 5.
How do you guys know these things? You know, I'm be 3.
I'm not. I
3
can tell you
sweet.
right now. I'm not a 4.
Wait, is it like a test I take, or can I just assign myself?
Yeah,
a
we
number?
can talk it through.
4 is the most derogatory one. If someone's
Really?
like,
I used to think
Yeah,
maybe
it
I was a
is.
5. I used to think I was a 5.
really?
4 is like artistic.
I'm 98% sure I'm an 8.
4 is the
4
individualist.
is like creative, artistic.
Yeah, 4 is like a 4
a lot
is
of
like,
musicians. A lot of
dramatic,
musicians.
right.
Very,
Self-absorbed.
very, it's very in your own head for a 4. 4 is derogatory. I'm a wing 4 though, so like, when people are like, "Hey, what are you?" I'm an Enneagram 4, and you're
What
like,
are you?
"I'm a 3-wing 4."
I don't know what that means.
I don't even know what a 3
I'm a
is.
3 is like one of the most popular ones.
3 is
achiever.
achiever.
An achiever. I'm a
Ah,
2-wing
yeah,
3,
yeah,
so I'm a
yeah,
helper achiever.
Bro, 2.
You're a 2-wing 3.
You're
2
legit.
3.
Oh,
Twos
yeah.
are legit.
2s are
Really?
for real.
I'm gonna be a 7
Twos are the realest.
I
Nine's a
can see it. I
helper?
can see a 7-wing.
No,
Yeah.
9's a peacemaker.
Who's the help?
Enthusiast,
Who's
but,
the
like,
helper?
also
Two's
a
the
little bit of-
helper.
Two's the helper.
Two's a helper.
Two's a helper, confirmed.
I hardly know her.
Really? Helper. Can't help you. You hardly
This is
know
a
her.
crazy tangent we got on.
Yeah,
I'm
this
sorry,
is
guys.
Right.
Yeah,
And
Enneagram.
it's all
I
going
apologize.
over his head.
But if you're a
apologize.
single,
I understand it
if you're a single listener to the show, if you're not,
Take
it's
this
like,
test,
not like
yeah.
if you're an individual that is listening to the show. If you are a single listener, no, if you are like relationship wise single, relationally single,
Sure.
If you're single in relation to the dating world,
Yes.
this is good information for you.
The Road Back to You is a book that I read,
Back to
and
You,
then I got a girlfriend. So
Yeah, you
let's
go.
just say that.
Really?
Just
Coming
say that.
soon, up-tempo dating app.
If you read the
Yeah,
book,
listen,
so
yeah.
confirmed.
Wow.
Confirmed.
Wow.
If you read the book, you will get a girlfriend.
Swipe up.
Confirmed.
And it's
See,
like those other dating apps. You have to swipe
Instead
up.
of reading a book, I just grew my facial hair out.
Oh, and that did it for you.
Still don't have a girlfriend.
Guys, I read
it's-
books, by the
it's
way. Ask me about the books I read.
Ask me about the books.
Ask me about the books.
It's an audio book, actually. I didn't
I've been
read
reading
it.
all
I'll be honest
this
with you.
tennis book recently to get my game going for basketball.
It's not actually reading.
It's not reading.
Oh.
I read. What can I say? I
The
read.
NCAA just released this. The NCAA tournament budget gap. There's a $13.5 million budget for the budget gap. The budget for men's basketball tourney was almost double the women's budget in 2019.
Okay.
Why are they posting that?
Yeah, that's a
Stark
that's a crazy thing.
contrast in revenues. So they're posting the revenue difference between the two tournaments
okay, so they're
from
dunking.
Where do they post
2019.
this?
They're dunking on
They
people
just
on Twitter.
ESPN sent a push notification that was like,
Wow.
hey, this has been a hot topic lately. Here's the revenue gap between men's and women's basketball.
stoke the fire.
It's pretty bold.
That's
That
terrible.
doesn't make,
Yeah.
No, that's not terrible. That sheds light on the conversation.
No, I agree.
I
100%
think it
agree.
just
It's
lights
important
it lights a
information.
further fire.
People would not be talking about
There's
this.
it's
important information.
There's equality though in the fact that they deserve the same things the men's side does.
the revenue.
Granted, there's a revenue gap.
Look at the revenue gap and tell me that they both deserve.
But what? Okay,
same.
what's the difference?
boy.
Tell me that.
Here we go.
What's
All
the
right.
difference in men's and women's basketball?
Like $1 billion.
Yeah, more than that.
13.5 million.
No.
not billion.
No.
That's
It's like,
what it says.
It's like 976 million
I'm
to like
reading
11
the
million.
article.
Yeah, hold on. We'll
Oh
figure
my
it out.
God.
I'm reading the
For the-
ESPN
for the-
article.
No.
Hang on. For
The
the
total,
tournament.
the total revenue.
No way.
These are for the tournaments,
Yeah.
correct?
Oh, just for the tournament.
From what I understand. So they could be across the programs. I would expect the gap to be wider.
It's
right?
wider,
Like,
right. But that doesn't mean that you should get that they deserve less.
No, they absolutely should have given them a better gym. I agree.
And they should be the same. They should be on the same
What
level.
argument are you making right now?
Equality, an argument for equality.
They make significantly less money, but that doesn't mean they should get any less.
No.
What? That makes no sense.
Because of equality.
That makes no sense.
I'm hesitant to jump in on this.
You're not saying anything.
We have defined two
No,
lines.
Drake, you're not saying anything. You're just saying because equality.
Right.
What is that?
What do you mean, what is that?
Explain that.
Good radio.
Men's basketball.
You're not saying
women's
anything.
basketball.
We got to find these numbers.
Men's basketball, women's basketball, right?
Yes.
Same level playing field, both collegiate sports, okay? 18 to 22-year-olds, right? Right?
Yes, you're correct so far.
Okay.
In the same sport, at the same level.
Not the same sport.
I would not
same
consider them
sport.
Not the same sport.
Same sport, basketball.
No, not the same sport. If there was the same sport, they'd be playing against each other. It's two separate sports.
Wow. Okay.
You know, they're playing the same sport. They're both playing basketball. It's not basketball A and basketball B. They're both playing basketball.
It is basketball A and basketball B.
Fair.
There's
They're
actually
both
different
playing
rules. There's actually different rules.
There are different rules.
They have different. Okay,
and they're different leagues.
It's
I'm
the
finding the
same
numbers.
game. The game is basketball.
Yes. Okay. I
Two
see.
different
I see y'all
sports.
both making
Same
good points.
game.
Granted,
different sports.
Granted, women's basketball and baseball should not be compared. Two different sports.
Yes.
Basketball can be compared to basketball.
I think a lot of
I disagree. Same game.
basketball.
Same game.
Yeah.
Different sports.
How does that make
I actually do agree with that.
I mean, it makes
Thank you.
If it was the same sport,
If it was the same sport, they'd be playing against each other.
I see what Drake's saying, but I see what you're saying.
All right, I have the numbers. The women's D1 tournament generates this is a little bit biased. It generates $35 million a year, while the men's generates about $835 million per year. So
that's not the tournament, though.
This is the tournament. The women's D1 division tournament versus men's D1 division tournament. It's about an $800 million gap.
Okay.
Which is, I would say, a little bit. Now, these are according.
That's a significant
as far as fact checking goes, I didn't make these numbers myself, so I can't say that with complete confidence. But just what I'm reading.
So
it's posted 7 days ago.
To put it, so here's my take on it. Women's basketball probably should have got a better gym, right?
Yeah,
all these should have got a better gym.
Yeah,
should have got a better setup.
Yeah, for sure.
Those are the easy things to
Yeah,
control.
like that's something that should have probably been done.
The gift baskets, the gym, everything should be equal.
Like they're not short on money. At the same time, men's wrestling, I saw someone tweet this who was in the tournament, like for whatever the NCAA wrestling tournament is. He said, hey, all we got was a water bottle. And this probably has something to do with how much. I'll be curious to know how much the men's wrestling tournament brings in. I would expect less than whatever the women's basketball tournament is. So I think there's a level of revenue that they're producing that they put back into the tournament.
Yeah.
That is coming with the gift bag and stuff like that. So NCAA definitely dropped the ball, but I think it kind of got blown out of proportion as to what the main issue was. And I think like both sides have a case, which is tough to like say, no, you're right or you're wrong. I think there's a lot of gray area in between. There's no simple answer for this whole thing.
And I feel like women's basketball is also growing. Like men's basketball has been around, like publicity wise, around way more than women's basketball. This women's basketball, not around as much. They're growing in popularity. And I think the longer we keep talking about this, the more money will get generated for the women's basketball tournament.
$864.6 million. That's how much the men's basketball tournament made.
That's a lot of money.
Tournament in 2019. The women's tournament lost $2.8 million.
So you're on our side now.
Thank you. The gap in that is somewhere in the neighborhood of $867 million.
Those numbers are pretty
They literally lost money.
Those numbers are tough to like argue.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They are very tough.
They should have had a better weight room. Should have had better setup.
Absolutely.
But the numbers are like
that's daunting.
Hey, this is probably like you can point to that and say, hey, we're losing $2 million on this tournament. Like we are kind of below budget here with what we're able to do. Not the players' fault.
Not the players' fault.
Nobody's. I mean, it's our fault.
If it's anyone's, it's viewers' fault.
It's viewers' fault.
It's our fault.
If you want to support women's basketball as much as you say you
gotta watch
all the games, get season tickets, and then there'll be more money to spend on these tournaments.
Here's a guy who watches all the games, gets season tickets, and goes to all the tournaments. TRex is back on the Impact Last Call. TRex, I want to know your thoughts.
Yep.
Turn him up.
It's 114th call. I had to shine some light on this subject. And this is the most uncontroversial way ever. Okay, at the end of the day, and I think you all agree based on what I heard from you there, money doesn't lie, right? The math doesn't lie. The numbers are there. Unfortunately, whether it's unfortunate is the correct term or not, this is the term I'm going to use. Men's athletics drastically overall, for especially, football and basketball especially, make more money than women's. And, this whole subject came about really in the mainstream because of the U.S. women's national soccer team. Megan Rapaport, I apologize if I'm saying her name wrong. I don't know how to spell it, pronounce it. I don't even watch women's professional soccer until the World Cup, which I'm sure all of us if we watch it, don't watch until the World Cup, unfortunately. That's not a dish on them.
Sure.
But
it's not televised.
She's complaining, or the women's national team, mostly her, they're complaining about they don't make as much as the men's team does. Well, let's take into account multiple things, right? Where does a paycheck of a professional athlete come from? Okay, we're talking ticket sales. We're talking TV money. We're talking concession stands, jersey sales, all these different factors, right? More people go to football games, or in that case specifically, probably support men's soccer more than women's soccer. Whether that's fair or not fair, it's realistic. And also, if I want to just throw in something just to do a little dish at her, if you want to make as much as the men do, don't lose to a under 18 high school soccer team while preparing for the World Cup. That has nothing to do with that. I just had to throw that in there. The same thing with college basketball. All right, yes, they deserve the same, arenas based on, estimated capacity, obviously. Don't overshoot it, because then you're just wasting money. But, same weight rooms. They need the same equipment to prepare. 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
That, the NCAA dropped the ball. I think we all agree on that.
Yep.
But monetarily, you just proved it. I mean, that was $800+ million difference. It's the same thing with the WNBA. The WNBA only exists because the NBA subsidizes it. And that's the truth. Yeah. And if that can upset you, that can upset the woke kids. I'm 29. I fall into that category of the millennials. We all do on this show. The people I'm talking to right now on the show. But I think we all got to open our minds and realize that you can only do so much with the money you have at hand. So, the gift bags, like you said, the wrestler, he got a freaking water bottle. I played Division III sports. We didn't get anything when we went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think we got a T-shirt. You see us complaining. We weren't even on scholarship. So, I'm not trying to say, be happy with what you get. But, sponsors matter, TV revenue matters. And there's a reason that last night I could have bought a ticket to the Sweet 16 Elite 8 in San Antonio for $55 on the 100 level, and then on row 22, the Alamo Dome, where that same equivalent seat in Indianapolis for this weekend would probably cost me $700.
Yeah.
So supply and demand, it's a thing. If I want to go buy a Tesla, I got to pay for a Tesla. But I can go buy a 1976 Pontiac for a lot less. So it is what it is, man. And yes, go to the game, support. And we want to talk Baylor specifically. Our women's basketball team probably spends more money than our men's team, because there's a running joke the women always stay in the Ritz-Carlton. That has been proven truthful at times. They do stay in really nice hotels. But, hey, we had better attendance at the women's games, in Baylor, for example. But, you got to get the support there. Maybe in 10 years that gap narrows. Maybe it doesn't. Who knows? At the end of the day, though, whatever side makes more money is going to have better stuff. It's just, that's pure economics. I make more money than my next door neighbor. I'm going to probably have a nicer house. It trickles down the line. So I fully support women's athletics. I go to as many women's athletics games as I can. I love watching our women play. And if the men unfortunately don't make it to the Final Four and our women do, I plan on going to San Antonio. But at the end of the day, those tickets are going to be a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
So, Signal Bears, facts don't lie, and they don't care about your feelings. That's really all that matters.
Wow. Thanks for your call, T-Rex.
Love y'all. See ya.
Love you too.
That was
facts over feelings.
Actually. That was
that was really good.
Really good headspace right there. That was good information.
I was unbiased too.
You're terrible.
There wasn't because he's a guy that goes to all the women's games. Goes to all the women's basketball games.
If you think of women's basketball fans, T-Rex goes to everything. His Twitter, he goes to anything Baylor's doing ever.
Yeah.
I follow him on Twitter, like probably all of us, and he goes to the equestrian meets. He'll go to the diving meets. Do we even have those? I don't know.
Probably. If we do, he's at them.
He's at them, yeah. So, he's probably actually like a great person to ask about.
Money where his mouth is, for sure.
Here's what we're going to do. We got time. Do we want to hit a break, then pick our Sweet 16 and do the take two?
It's y'all's call.
Or do we want to just go right into it now?
I say we just lock and load.
I'm ready to roll.
Let's lock and load. All right, Sweet 16 analysis. Game number 1, Iowa and UConn.
Wait,
you thought I meant the men's Sweet 16? Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. We're picking the women's Sweet 16.
You can turn my mic
This is gonna be a quick analysis.
Baylor's gonna win.
UConn, Gino don't lose.
Turn your mic off.
Gino don't lose. Give me
I got Iowa now. Okay.
Yeah.
UConn Baylor finals.
Number 5 Villanova and number 1 Baylor. 5 seed Nova, 1 seed Baylor. Who do we like in that one?
We talked about it a lot.
All right, everybody. Everybody at the same time. Armstrong, you too. Villanova and Baylor, we're going to pick our winner. 3, 2, 1.
Baylor. The Baylor Bears.
If Baylor can't beat Villanova without Colin Gillespie, then we don't deserve to win the tournament.
Yeah, good point.
So I think we're the better team.
I'm with you.
Arkansas and Oral Roberts. Ow!
Dude, I'm with you. Call the pigs.
I want Oral Roberts to win this game.
I want Oral Roberts so bad.
I want Oral Roberts to win this game by a billion.
Why?
Because
Oral Roberts.
I mean, they're fun, right?
They're
like
such
they're
a fun team.
school. They're the Cinderella of this year's, dance. But I mean, Arkansas is not losing, right? Like Oral Roberts, Sweet 16s around the time when the clock strikes midnight on a lot of these Cinderella programs. Arkansas is not losing this game.
I don't think they will either.
Arkansas
Dance.
this game.
I agree. But I'm going to watch it.
I'm going to watch the heck out of it. And I might even root for Oral Roberts, but
I'm
Arkansas is going to win
absolutely
this
gonna
game,
root,
and I'm okay with that.
Loyola Chicago and Oregon State. Let's all say our winner in 3, 2, 1. Loyola Chicago.
State.
What?
You like Oregon State?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
We did this before, guys. We bet against Sister Jean before, and look what happened.
Dude,
to us.
I'm not
One does not bet against God.
I'm not doing it. I'm not
we
doing
are.
it twice.
Y'all got it. Y'all can do it.
Really?
You're going to take Oregon State.
I'll take Oregon State.
All right.
Why?
I'm going to flame Armstrong.
I don't know.
in the group chat.
I really have no reason. I just like them. And Loyola Chicago.
I like their colors.
When I watched them, they looked good. And Loyola Chicago looked very beatable.
Really?
They
against Illinois?
They dominated Illinois.
Yeah. No, they dominated Illinois, but Illinois played trash.
Okay. Well, maybe because they have a great defense.
Maybe because Loyola Chicago's good.
I mean, it could be any dog's day. Every Beaver has his day.
True.
And Oregon State's hot, but I just don't think Loyola Chicago's
wanna
defense is going to
Also, Welch's
waver.
Fruit Snacks beats all of them.
No.
Welch's Fruit Snacks, spectacular.
Can we take a second to appreciate
I'm speaking of Oregon.
that an 8 versus 12 is playing in the Sweet 16?
Yeah, how about that?
So great.
My bracket's freaking busted on that end, but I love
my
that.
bracket's so bad. I said, take all my picks with a grain of salt because I have like 14
I had
in the
LSU
Sweet
in the
16.
Final Four.
11 seed Syracuse and 2 seed Houston. Here's my upset.
Syracuse has been rolling over their opponents. They've just been pedal to the metal with Syracuse.
0 to 60.
Houston just on the crosswalk, man. That's all it is. You got to look both ways, and the walk sign wasn't up. Syracuse is going really fast.
Houston could not have an easier path right now. No,
I actually have Houston.
I have Houston,
I'm
too.
locking in Houston. At the same time, though, that's my upset. That's my my big upset.
I like Houston. I think that zone is so hard, especially in March. I don't know why it's so hard to deal with in March. Maybe just teams haven't seen it or don't know how to attack it with such little preparation time. I mean, they have a whole week though. You think they'd be able to rock and roll?
Have you seen?
Give me Cuse. Give me the orange.
Seen the Twitter hype about Buddy Boeheim, first overall pick?
Is that Barstool initiated?
That's pretty good.
Perhaps. But
we need to.
I do know that Buddy Boeheim is great.
Buddy Buckets.
We don't need to walk on the highway for a little bit.
Buddy Buckets.
But
he's probably safe.
He's so good. I don't know if y'all saw the Syracuse West Virginia game, but Buddy Boeheim is good.
Dude, he's hot at the right time. Sometimes got to be hot at the right time, and it's him right now.
Yeah.
Kemba was hot at the right time for sure.
Okay. How about then we're going to move on to those are our picks for Saturday. Sunday. Creighton and Gonzaga.
I kind of gave my 2 cents on this already, but I think
you did give a lot of sense
I'm taking Creighton. Taking Creighton. If I'm wrong, but I'm going down swinging. I think Gonzaga hasn't been tested enough all year. Now, with that said, if Gonzaga wins this game, I think they sprint the national title. Like, I think they don't have any more issues. I think this is the last game where you can maybe catch Gonzaga sort of getting up to speed. But, I mean, I already said it. Gonzaga buries teams early. They haven't had to play 2 consistent full halves.
They didn't bury Oklahoma.
They got out to a pretty. I mean, they
didn't. They were down like 19 to 12.
Okay, but then they were up at. It was like they were up at half, and they were up, and they got a big run in the first. In the first part of the second half.
You know what year the Titanic sunk?
There's that movie.
What year the Titanic?
1912.
Is that what it was?
April 15th. April 15th.
Maybe. I mean, Gonzaga would be the Titanic of this tournament.
True. Oh wow, it's a great point you make there. The unsinkable ship. The unsinkable Molly Brown.
We'll see.
Yeah. Florida State and Michigan.
Do you have Gonzaga in that game?
Yeah, for sure. Everybody else has Gonzaga.
Florida State.
I think
Gonzaga.
USC is gonna crush Gonzaga if they play.
Really?
That's foreshadowing. I'm sorry.
No.
I hope you're right.
Mobley, baby.
Florida State.
I have Florida State.
The Mobley brothers.
Florida State.
I don't think Florida State has enough offensive firepower.
Too tall.
I think Michigan's kind of learned how to play without their best player. I think they're kind of getting into a rhythm. I'm nervous about that game, especially after seeing Michigan play so lackluster against LSU. But I think Michigan beats Florida State. I don't think they have the horses to run with them.
Hey, Rob?
I have Florida State. I think LSU could have won that game. Like As someone who picked LSU in my Final Four, I really wanted LSU to win that game. They didn't. Florida State is hot. Colorado beat the brakes off Georgetown, and then Florida State turned around and beat the brakes off Colorado. So Florida State's hot. And I don't think Michigan, if they have their best player, I think they win. They don't. I think I'm going to take Florida State.
We are split right down the middle, 2-2 on this, because I think after Paul's slander against your bracket, I'm going to go with Michigan in this one.
Thanks, man.
I also think Michigan, they're getting used to playing without their best player. So I think Michigan's going to be fine. I think they'll end up winning this game against Florida State. Yeah. It'll be close, though. I like Michigan minus 2.5. I mean, I think it'll be a 3 or 4 point game, though.
Is that what it is? Do we know what the line is?
It's 2.5.
Is it 2.5? Okay.
It's 2.5.
All right, let's ride.
UCLA, 11 seed UCLA, and number 2 Alabama, 2 seed Alabama. Mick Cronin to the Sweet 16.
Who would have thought?
Not me.
Not me.
Not us.
Not them, probably.
I also love Alabama minus 6.5. I'm going to hammer Alabama minus 6.5.
They're too good right now. They're too good defensively too. Like they can stop you on both sides of the floor, and they get buckets.
Alabama could beat Gonzaga.
Buckets.
Alabama could beat Gonzaga.
Dude, all these teams are peaking at the right time.
So you're going with Alabama?
I'm going Bama. Roll Tide.
Hey, Armstrong. You going Alabama or UCLA?
Bama.
We're all going Bama on that one.
Bama. Trying to tell me I can't pick my team Alabama when we got to play them two halves, and I'm talking about trying to build a run program.
8:45 p.m. on Sunday, the last game of this little it's crazy, man. Then Monday we get flipping Elite 8 action.
On Monday?
Monday, and Tuesday.
I'm seeing a lot of John Calipari to Texas talk.
There's no way. I saw that too, and I just can't.
My thought would be why?
They take him the day after an 8-17 season?
Why would Kentucky fire John Calipari?
This is where they wouldn't fire him. Texas would have to come sweep and steal.
That would be just the meeting of the most obnoxious boosters and arguably the most obnoxious coach in the same city.
I mean, it's perfect fit.
Oh, yeah. It'd be open.
I can recruit.
He'd win so much.
That's what they're saying. They're saying some of his best players have all come from Texas.
Oh, he'd win
Kentucky.
He'd win a national championship within the first 5 years.
You think so?
Without a doubt.
Texas is a toxic program.
Without a doubt.
With 4 freshmen in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
With 4 freshmen
without
in the starting
a doubt.
is what it would be.
No way. He would, 100%. He won one within 5 years at Kentucky.
Dude, they're really good.
Please don't
They're really good.
If John Calipari goes to Texas, I'm never going to hear the end of it.
5-star signees from Texas.
De'Aaron Fox.
Tyrese Maxey, P.J. Washington, Julius Randle.
Where was John Wall from? Was he from Louisiana?
Wow.
We haven't even talked about the best game of the whole slate.
Oregon USC. I don't even think it's the best game.
That would not be. I would not be happy.
Did you know
the ticket prices right now? Have you looked?
Of what?
I have no idea.
Ticket prices for Oregon USC Pac-12 game. How much do you think they are?
$4,000.
4,000.
Wow. Give me 700.
700.
I was just joking.
70.
Yeah, that's a good guess, Armstrong. Oh, I can re-guess? Okay.
For perspective, Creighton Gonzaga, $660. Florida. Yeah, that's the lowest price.
Whoa.
UCLA Alabama, $465.
Okay, I'm going to change my guess.
Florida State Michigan, $244. What do we think Oregon USC Pac-12 dogfight is?
$1,100.
$1,100 for the lowest.
70.
70.
What? If it was 70, I would be there right now. We would all be there.
I was going to say,
I'm lowballing.
If it's cheap, I say we just all go.
Dude, yeah. Okay, I'll say it might be 1,300.
It's either going to be really low or really high.
It's 40.
Is it
Wait,
really?
is it actually 40?
$40.
Right,
no way.
Yeah,
all right. Well, I'll see
Here's
you guys.
why. Here's why.
How far is that drive?
It's Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. So Hinkle, which is the one that holds like 7 people.
Hoosiers.
Those ticket prices are jacked.
Okay.
Because there's 0 seats. Whereas Bankers Life, there's plenty of room. That's why the Final Four tickets won't be bad because it's flipping.
If Baylor plays in Hinkle, wait, what's the good one? What's the good one?
They're on Hinkle. They're in Hinkle.
Okay, so then we should go to that.
Baylor Gonzaga.
No, Baylor's in Hinkle, which is a small one.
Wait, we need to go when Baylor's in the big one.
Prices are $500 for Baylor Villanova.
So we'll figure that out.
We'll scalp it. Split it 4 ways, and we just pass it through.
We buy them, we scalp them, then we make some money back, then we rebuy them, and so we profit in the end.
I love it.
All right, how about this?
Wait, who do you got in that game?
Give me USC. I'm hammering
100%.
USC in that game. Hammering USC.
For old SC. Also, friend of the show, Jake Olson. That's the fight song. Jake Olson. It's his birthday today. USC legend.
Celebrity birthday is Jake Olson.
Fight on for old SC.
Dead or alive, Jake Olson.
On to victory.
Dead or alive, Jake Olson.
Fight on,
Tell me he's alive.
Mamadou. It's up to you. Fight on, roll to see. Fight on,
Hit that
victory.
line, keep on
fight
going.
on.
Get that ball right down the field. Give a cheer. Go, Hogs. What's happening? Riff.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
I love that.
Lickety, razoo. Riff, bah. Woo, poo.
Oh, TCU's
Give them hell,
TCU.
TCU.
So bad.
All right, Baylor baseball plays TCU this weekend. It is a 2-minute drill time.
2-minute drill. We went over last time, so we're going to try and keep it as close to 2 minutes as possible. And runners, are you ready?
Bump it.
On your mark.
We're bumping it?
This is
Bump it.
Get set.
Okay, that's way too bumped.
Oh,
You said
baby.
bump it.
Here we go. Starting the stopwatch.
I can't hear anything.
Understand.
Here it comes. It's about to get really real in
Don't
here.
listen to Drake.
Here we go.
Whoa.
First question, 2-minute drill. Syracuse won the Natty in 2003. Who was the most outstanding player?
Oh, wow.
Jim Bohannon in my heart.
I know. It's Jim Bohannon. It's Buddy Bohannon. He's immortal.
We're rocking and rolling. Everybody good to go?
Yeah.
Kentucky was stunned by which all-African-American starting lineup team in the 1966 National Championship? Bonus/hint, there was a movie made about it. Bonus question, what's the movie called?
Say the whole question again.
So basically, who won the Natty in 1966? That was the first time for an all-African-American starting lineup. It was a big deal. The school is now UTEP, but they were called something else back then.
Can I name a player on the squad? Because I know a name of a player. Is that another bonus point?
Okay, anyways.
I have no
Oh,
idea.
sure.
Go ahead.
Okay.
All right. Who has the most Sweet 16 appearances?
Ooh. Coach or team?
Team. As in school.
Oh, Sean. Yeah, I bet.
This one's a little niche. Name one of the two schools who have the most tournament wins since 2000 with no Final Four appearance. So since 2000, they've had the most wins, but without making it to a Final Four. There's two teams.
Since 2000?
Since 2000.
Wichita State made the Final Four, too. As an 11.
Hold on. I can do this.
Maybe I'm going to just try it.
Sorry, I'll try to make them harder because Drake bodied this last time.
No, these are hard. I mean, I know like 0 of them. So.
Oh, I think I got it.
I think I got some.
I think Drake might still body this.
Yeah, he probably will.
I'm not trying to not make him body. I just want to make sure there's a proper. All right, who has the longest streak for most consecutive years making it to the dance? Hint, that streak continued this year.
I know this one.
Wow.
Finally.
It's a big number.
It's a big number.
We need any repeats on those questions?
When's the last time UNC didn't make it?
They broke their streak. Yeah, it's tough. Oh, wait, UNC made it. That's right. No. I know the team. It's not that one.
2010.
Okay, what's next?
We ready? That's it. Number one. That's all. We just got 5. We just got 5.
That's your 2-minute drill?
It's already been 2 minutes.
That's true.
Oh, wait. Do you have any more questions?
That's it.
You only had 5 questions?
We got 5 questions, baby.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
most outstanding player when Syracuse won the Natty in 2003.
No.
Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo Anthony. Mello.
I had that.
You had that?
Of course I had that.
Oh.
Heck yeah.
A-Rob didn't.
No.
It's a tough one.
Of course I had that.
2000, I was 2. And I wasn't watching a lot of basketball. I know you were 2 as well.
We're watching a lot of hoops.
2003?
2003. Yep.
2, yeah.
All right, yeah.
Team that won the national championship in 1966. First team with the all African American starting lineup in the Natty.
Do you know?
No. I think I might. Do you?
I didn't know this. I know this. I looked it up.
I'm 90.
What is it?
Texas Western.
Texas Western.
Wow.
Do you know the name of the movie? Someone called
Glory
me about
Road.
it yesterday. Glory Road.
What
Who is the player?
Did you know either of those?
Dude, I just wrote down D.
Yeah. I had West Texas State. I had Glory Road.
Okay,
So Armstrong's up by 1.
Heck yeah.
Nolan Richardson's one of the players. He went on to coach at Arkansas, won a national championship in
Arkansas,
94.
that's why.
Yeah, Nolan coached at
I
Arkansas.
knew there had to be an Arkansas tie there.
Most Sweet 16 appearances.
I didn't know.
I guess.
I guess Kentucky.
Kentucky?
I guess Duke.
I said Duke.
Kentucky was right.
Bro.
Kentucky with 58.
It's over.
Name one of the
happening?
See, the last two I don't know.
Really? Okay, so one of the
I
two
know one
schools who have the most tournament wins since 2000. This was a hard one, to be fair.
4, I said USC.
Oh, I wish. That'd be sick.
I just wrote Baylor, but that's definitely not right.
This is tough. Any guesses?
It's Texas.
I say Texas Tech.
Xavier and Pitt.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Xavier.
But they made a
One of
final
those
four.
two
I should've
teams.
said that.
Yeah, sorry. That was kind of a niche one. Sorry, boys.
What was the 5th question again?
Who has the longest streak for consecutive years making the NCAA tournament?
I know.
Okay.
I'm gonna say North Carolina. Okay. I don't think that's right.
Okay.
I'm between two, and I think it's Kansas. But
I locked in Kansas.
Kansas, 31 years.
Yeah, that makes
Armstrong
sense.
Wins by 1.
That makes sense.
Valiant effort, though. That was a lot of fun.
All right, I'm Drake Toll, J.D. Pickell, Armstrong Sims, Andrew Robertson. When we come back, we're going to hear from Jay Wright of Villanova what he thinks about this Baylor squad going into the game. Yeah, Jay Wright's calling us.
Hey, heck yeah. Are we calling him?
We're calling him? No.
I hardly know her.
I love it. All right, hey, we'll be right back with Jay Wright. This is Up Tempo.
It was a busy day in women's basketball yesterday as the round of 32 concluded. 8 more teams punched tickets to the Sweet 16. Starting with upsets, 6-seed Oregon toppled 3-seed Georgia 57-50, and 6-seed Texas advanced past 3-seed UCLA 71-62. Elsewhere, 2-seed Texas A&M snuck by 7-seed Iowa State 84-82 on a buzzer beater in overtime. Questionable calls down the stretch gave the Lady Aggies an advantage for the second tournament game in a row. On the men's side, everything is gearing up for the Sweet 16 that takes place starting on Saturday. Duke freshman Jamin Brakefield plans to transfer from the team. UNC freshman Dayron Sharp has declared for the NBA draft. Florida sophomore Trey Mann has declared for the NBA draft, and Pittsburgh's Justin Champagny will also test the NBA waters. In football, it's time for spring ball. Baylor kicked off its spring drills yesterday as media got its first look at the 4-person quarterback battle. Another open practice will take place today. And Texas has paused its spring football practice due to COVID-19. Oklahoma coach Lincoln Riley is protesting TCU quarterback Chandler Morse's eligibility after he transferred from Oklahoma. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. It's been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
With more than 160,000 alumni worldwide and counting, the Baylor family is growing. And through the university's expanded Baylor alumni program, the family is growing closer. With hundreds of local volunteers planning events in cities and towns around the country, you can gather with fellow Bears no matter where you are. So, get connected, get something started, get involved, and make plans to get together with Baylor alumni. Visit us at baylor.edu/alumni.
Don Humidor, your home with a 48-foot walk-in humidor with the elite cigar brands from around the world, including the #1 cigar of the year, Aging Room Cuatro Nicaragua. Plus, they have the great brands like Macanudo and Artur Fuente, Rocky Patel, Aston, and so much more. CBD, great for sore muscles, aches and pains, sleep, Vita Dreams, and anxiety, mild depression, general health and wellness. Their staff very knowledgeable on the subject. If anyone is curious about CBD, ask Carol and Ashley. Don Humidor in the Townwest Shopping Center off Valley Mills in Waco.
What you do in privacy is your own business. What you do in public with your truck, well, that's our business at Pickup Outfitters. In your garage, it's okay for your truck to parade around in the nude with no accessories. Hey, this is still America. But when you bring your truck out in public, it's just common decency to put an outfit on your truck. And that's where we come in at Pickup Outfitters. Put a cover on that bed. Cover your rear end with a bumper and a hitch, for goodness sakes. There are women and children on the roads. And guys, don't leave your tools exposed. Put them in a toolbox. Be proud of your truck and stand tall with a lift kit. Or improve your truck's posture with a leveling kit. Add some class to your pickup with new wheels and tires. Or dress up for a date with your new RV or boat with a fifth wheel or a receiver hitch. At Pickup Outfitters, we're dedicating to making the roads decent for all Central Texans. So when taking your truck out in public, remember your manners and accessorize it properly with an outfit from Pickup Outfitters. 220 Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Hey, this is Bryce Petty, former starting quarterback and two-time Big 12 champion, and I know firsthand the importance of being in top shape both on and off the field. So listen up, men. If you're feeling beat down day in and day out and looking for that high-performance edge that separates the men from the boys, then look no further than the Petty Clinic Low T in Waco. Petty Clinic is a comprehensive men's healthcare clinic with an atmosphere catering to men. Board-certified Dr. Kent Petty has a special interest in offering the highest quality medical care to men of all ages. Some of the services offered include food, screening and treatment for low testosterone or thyroid, infertility, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, while offering comprehensive wellness exams and complete men's health lab panels. High Performance Men, remember, it's not just a Petty thing. This is Bryce Petty, encouraging you to reach out and Google search Petty Clinic Low T or go to pettycliniclowt.com and get your complimentary lab screening today.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Why are you the way that you are? Honestly, every time I try to do something fun or exciting, you make it not that way. I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
Now back to the Bears Den with Drake Toll and J.D. Pickell for the Blonde Boys Power Hour.
Welcome back in the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. Happy Friday, folks. Coming up on the Sweet 16. Baylor back at it for the fifth time. You guys know what it's like for Baylor to be in a Sweet 16. This is nothing new, guys. This is nothing new. We've all been here before. Baylor's been here before. And now it's time to see them square it off tomorrow at 4:15. Baylor and Villanova. How about it? Scott Drew and company facing off against Jay Wright. Jay Wright's one of the very best coaches to ever do it. I mean, ever do it, winning a national championship at Villanova. And here we are. Storylines for the game. Baylor playing in their fifth Sweet 16 since 2010, one of 13 programs to achieve the feat in the nation. Just 13 schools have done that. Only 13 people can say, 13 fans of 13 schools can say, hey, my program, my school has done that. Baylor 16-14 in all-time NCAA championships, in 13 NCAA championships, including a 13-8 record in the Scott Drew era. 13-8, folks. Not bad, not bad. Baylor's appearing in the NCAA tournament for the sixth time in the last 7 tournaments, and with the win versus Wisconsin, Baylor's now 5-1 in NCAA tournament second-round game. So, hey, the Sweet 16 has been kryptonite before, but we've seen Baylor go to the Elite Eight. It would not be anything new or unexpected, especially in a year where folks are ready for this Baylor team to make a splash, make a run, and they're facing off against a Villanova team that's no slouch, right? They lost their guy, Colin Gillespie. If Villanova had Colin Gillespie, I'd still have confidence in a Baylor victory, but, they're missing their best player. That's going to give the Bears an edge in this one. They do, though, have Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, 16 points per game. The guy shoots at 50%. He has 8.3 rebounds per game. The big man is the do-it-all guy for them. Colin Gillespie led the team in assists. He was the facilitator. He's gone, though. No Colin Gillespie, and it means they got to rely on Archie Diacono now. They've got guys that are back there. They've got guys that are back to help out where Colin Gillespie is gone, but nobody like Davion Mitchell, Maceo Teague, who's been red hot, Jared Butler, who is a first-team All-American. Question is, can Villanova put up with guys like that are so good at what they do for Baylor? Nova right now, Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, 16 points per game. He's their team leader. Colin Gillespie, out. Had 14 points per game, 3 rebounds, 4.5 assists. No Colin Gillespie the rest of the year. Justin Moore, another guard for Villanova. He averages 13 points per game and 3 assists. Jermaine Samuels averages 12 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists. And then Caleb Daniels averages 10 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist per game. Those are their main guys. This is a team that won't go too deep. They don't have a ton of players that average over 15 minutes per game. I mean, you're going to see this roster go about 6 guys. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys that play 15 minutes or more per game. So get ready to see a little bit more of Chris Arcidiacono in the absence of Colin Gillespie. But right now, I don't see anything about this Villanova team that scares me to the point that I believe Baylor's going to lose the game tomorrow. JD talked about it earlier. If there's a situation, a scenario in which it does happen, in which Baylor does lose, it's one where Villanova comes out, crashes the boards, leads the game in rebounds, and really shoots hot from outside the arc. They're going to have to shoot it well, but Baylor's defense is locked in the game, and I love Baylor to win this game. Cover that 7.5, blow out Villanova. We saw it. We saw it against Creighton. What was it, like 85-55 or something stupid? I mean, Baylor's been here before in these big situations. By Baylor, I mean Scott Drew, this program. I think they're going to do it again. I think they're going to do it against what we're set up for. But I'll tell you what, yesterday Jay Wright in his press conference was with Jeremiah Robinson Earl, and they were both asked a lot of questions about Baylor. So we've gone through, we picked out the questions where they talked specifically about Baylor, specifically about their program coming into the game against Baylor, a little bit of who Jeremiah Robinson Earl would compare the Bears to, a little bit of the same from Jay Wright. And both of these guys broke things down, prefaced this matchup, talked about Baylor, and you can tell they respect this team. One of my favorite questions in this, a reporter asked Jay Wright, the legendary coach, what does it feel like to be an underdog going into this game? Check this out from yesterday's pregame press conference where Jay Wright and the star for Villanova, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, break down tomorrow's matchup at 4:15 between Villanova and Baylor.
Jay, what's it like being a legit underdog?
You know what? You don't think about it that much, Mike, but it's there's definitely less pressure on the coaching staff, but I don't think the players think of themselves as underdogs, which is a good thing. And sometimes that's something you have to battle when they're not underdogs. But the good thing about coaching young people at 18 to 22, I don't really think that they think they're underdogs that often. But as coaches, you definitely know you are.
Good morning, Jay.
Good morning,
given the amount of kind of weaponry on offense that Baylor has that you've got to face, have you thought of going more zone, less zone? Or are you going to do more kind of junk defenses where maybe you mix it up halfway through a possession, you'll switch out of one to another? Because you really, or are you looking at more as giving up twos instead of having them kill you from three?
I don't think it's a kind of team, Eric, that you can just do one thing against these guys. They're too smart. We're going to have to change it up, and they've seen everything. In the Big 12 was just outstanding this year, and there's great coaches. So there's the one thing I can definitely say we're not going to do is just go out and do one thing against these guys. They would just slice you.
Thanks, Coach.
You got it.
Hey, Jeremiah, I got two questions for you. One, is there any team in the Big East that resembles a style that Baylor has?
I would say you could probably put a couple. I say Creighton and how their style of play. They get out and their tempo is really fast, and then Butler on their defensively side of how they're really tough on the defensive side. So I'll say defensively probably Butler and how physical and tough they are, and then Creighton offensively how they just get out. Everybody can shoot. Everybody can dribble. Everybody can just do. Everybody's dynamic on the court. So I would say those are probably my two comparisons.
And finally, what did you learn from the last time you played against Baylor? Because you played in that last game in 2019.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely grown as a team, and they have a lot of older guys that have a lot of experience in the tournament as well. I mean, even last year was a unique time, but I think they have a lot of experience, and I think the experience is especially showing right now in March Madness. And I think they're really tough, dynamic, physical team that really gets after it.
Our next question will be from Mike Jensen.
I think I did. What's it like being a legit underdog, Jeremiah? And also, I'm wondering, does Jay Wright ease up on you guys at all in his approach in March, or no?
I don't think we don't go into games knowing that we're going to play a really good team or a team that isn't. We take every single team the same way. We go into practice and play really hard, and we have the utmost respect for every single team we play. So we just love going out there and competing and playing Villanova basketball. And then Coach never lets up. We love how hard he gets after us every single day in practice because we want to become the best team and individual players we possibly can be. So we have a lot of respect for Coach and the assistants and how they coach us every single day.
John Warner, Waco Tribune Hero. I don't know how much you've seen of Davion Mitchell, Baylor's guard. He's a finalist for Naismith Defensive Player of the Year. What do you see from him, especially defensively?
I would say defensively, he really gets after it. And we have to be really solid with the ball and just can't waste turnovers because we can't waste possessions because they'll lead to turnovers and they'll get 2 points if not 3 points. So I think he's dynamic on offense. He can shoot the ball, get to the goal, and then defensively, he's really tenacious and really gets into the point guards or whoever he's guarding and leads to turnovers, or he'll block shots, rebounds, steals. He just gets after it on the defensive end.
Jeremiah, when you think about this program's culture and just everything that you guys put into it, how much has it especially mattered in these recent 2-3 weeks where you've gone through everything and now are standing here heading into the Sweet 16?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is just taking it one day at a time and just not looking too far ahead and don't dwell on the past and just stay in the moment, because just staying in the moment can lead to success. And I know if we just go out every single day and play Villanova basketball in the games, and we can look each other in the eye and live with the result. So I think that's just so important, just to stay in the moment and just stay into each other.
That earlier this week from Villanova, talking in the press conference about this Baylor team and what that squad is looking forward to playing Baylor. Game squares off on CBS at 4:15 tomorrow, so we're locking it in, guys. I mean, we're right here on the cusp of Baylor and Villanova squaring off in the Sweet 16. The Baylor Bears, their chance to punch their ticket to the Elite Eight. And while everybody's been talking about it, okay, this is the one. This is where Baylor punches it in. It's where they get it down. It's where they go to the Elite Eight. There's still a chance that tomorrow is the last time that the Baylor Bears play in a basketball game this season. That's a reality. So as much as everybody is so excited and amped up, and this is the one, and we're ready, Baylor's going to make the Elite Eight tomorrow, there's a shot. March is mad. Anything can happen. There's a shot going into tomorrow's game that this is it for the old Bears, and that no turning back from here. Baylor could end their season with a loss in Indianapolis against this Villanova team who's good. They've got the pedigree, 18-6 overall, 11-4 in the Big East. Baylor 24-2, 13-1 in the Big 12. Anything can happen, but I got Baylor winning. You've probably got Baylor winning. If it doesn't happen, though, the commentary that follows that. All right, how about this, though? John Fanta joins the show up next. What a guest we've got for you guys. John Fanta is one of the best to do it. He hosts, he's play-by-play on Fox, college basketball for Fox, host of the Big East Shoot-Around. He's been on Fox Sports 1, NBA TV, Big East Digital, ESPN+. He's a Cleveland guy who knows everything there is to know about Villanova, everything there is to know about Big East basketball. He's going to join the show coming up at the end of this break and tell us everything about Villanova and Baylor and what they expect from the Big East side of things to come down in this matchup. I'm Drake Toll, Andrew Robertson, Armstrong Sims, and this is Uptempo.
It was a busy day in women's basketball yesterday as the round of 32 concluded. 8 more teams punched tickets to the Sweet 16. Starting with upsets, 6 seed Oregon toppled 3 seed Georgia 57-50. And 6 seed Texas advanced past 3 seed UCLA 71-62. Elsewhere, 2 seed Texas A&M snuck by 7 seed Iowa State 84-82 on a buzzer beater in overtime. Questionable calls down the stretch gave the Lady Aggies an advantage for the second tournament game in a row. On the men's side, everything is gearing up for the Sweet 16 that takes place starting on Saturday. Duke freshman Jamin Brakefield plans to transfer from the team. UNC freshman Day'Ron Sharp has declared for the NBA draft. Florida sophomore Trey Mann has declared for the NBA draft, and Pittsburgh's Justin Champagny will also test the NBA waters. In football, it's time for spring ball. Baylor kicked off its spring drills yesterday as media got its first look at the 4-person quarterback battle. Another open practice will take place today, and Texas has paused its spring football practice due to COVID-19. Oklahoma coach Lincoln Riley is protesting TCU quarterback Chandler Morse's eligibility after he transferred from Oklahoma. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. It's been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Uptempo.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like First Free Checking, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Let Camille Johnson Realtors guide you seamlessly through the process of buying your dream home or selling your current one. Commercial, farm and ranch, or residential, Camille Johnson Realtors can smoothly and successfully lead you through any transaction. With a team of 28 experienced agents who are excited about serving you, Camille Johnson Realtors services the entire greater Waco area. If you're in the market to buy or sell, contact Camille Johnson Realtors, 104 Midway Center in Woodway, or find them online at www.camillejohnson.com. Camille Johnson Realtors, elegant, charming, warm. Welcome home.
Bird Culchin Ford has been in Waco since 1936. Ford, the #1 selling truck in Texas, 43 years running. And Bird Culchin Ford proudly supports high school football in Central Texas. And no better way to tailgate with a Ford than from Bird Culchin Ford. And are there better vehicles to tailgate with than the Ford F-150 or the Ford Expedition? And of course, you can get them new, pre-owned Bird Culchin Ford. Our sponsor of the Ford Tough Player of the Week, locally owned dealership. Online at bkford.com at 1701 West Loop 340 in Waco. Bird Culchin Ford.
The holidays are here, and I have a simple question for you. Will you weigh as much more or less than you do right now when the holidays are over? Why not end the year in better shape than when you started and create momentum for 2021? Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness has numerous options for stocking stuffer gifts with gift cards for gym or tennis membership, fitness merchandise, tanning, massage, tennis lessons, and personal training. Perhaps a gift for a client, a family member, or a friend. You just need to walk through the front door to change your life. Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness with personal trainers Christy London and Randall Corley. 40-plus group exercise classes, including twice-a-week boot camp. Spacious, clean workout room, free weights, Cybex cardio equipment, and no intimidation. A tremendous camaraderie and family atmosphere. So get the best and healthiest Christmas gift you can for someone or yourself. It's time to react today, not tomorrow, at Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness on Lake Shore Drive in Waco.
Learning to navigate life in the COVID-19 world has been a struggle, and where and how to get tested has been one of the biggest challenges. Impact Health Labs has your answer. If you need mass testing for your office, church, dormitory, or school, Impact Health Labs is who to call. They will come to you, conduct the testing at your location, and have the test back within 24 hours. Most major insurance accepted, meaning your out-of-pocket cost is low. So no more waiting by the phone for days to find out the results. Impact Health Labs was founded by 3 Army licensed and credentialed medical professionals. They believe in accuracy, efficiency, and doing the job right. Call 254-744-6233 to set up your group screening today. Impact Health Labs, on-site, prompt, and accurate, taking COVID-19 head-on. Again, that number is 254-744-6233 or online at impacthealthlabs.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
No capes. Do you remember Thunderhead? Tall, storm powers. Nice man. Good with kids.
Listen. Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122.
Diner guy, snag on takeoff. Splashdown, sucked into a vortex. No capes.
Here's Drake Toll and Armstrong Sims.
Welcome back into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. And wow, about it today. Sweet 16 tomorrow. Baylor Villanova squaring off. Sweet 16 tomorrow on the women's side with Baylor and Michigan. It's a big Friday and a big weekend coming up in Baylor athletics, folks. And to help us break down things on the men's side, with this game between the Baylor Bears and the Villanova Wildcats, John Fanta, a man of many, many hats. This guy, one of the best in the business, and somebody that I've watched multiple times. John, excited to have you on the show today to talk a little bit of Big East Villanova hoops.
Great to be with you. Thanks so much for having me. And yeah, it is the best time of the year, my man. This is an exciting weekend. You got back-to-back days of quadruple headers. We got the coaching carousel revving up. We got transfers by the hour. It is a wild time of year in this sport, and it's terrific to be on with you on Uptempo.
Oh, my goodness. John, I don't even know where to start. You know, we've broken things down all week long when it comes to the legendary Jay Wright, the injury to Colin Gillespie, the storylines that follow this game. You know, Arcidiacono 2.0 that comes in, you know, against this Baylor team. And really Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, who's been the highlight of can he outdo Baylor in the paint? Those are the storylines right here. What are the storylines that maybe you're looking at coming into Villanova and Baylor this weekend?
Villanova being able to handle the defensive pressure coming from Baylor's guards. I think Baylor's going to try to make this up-tempo. They're going to want open floor. And when you think about the Bears and what they have between Mitchell and Teague, Butler, even the sharpshooter Matthew Meyer, I just look at Baylor's firepower, and I think it's very crucial for Villanova to say, hey, let's settle the waters in this game. Let's try to keep the tempo a little bit down because we do not have Colin Gillespie. And Chris Arcidiacono's been starting, but he hasn't been playing a ton of minutes for Villanova. It's been a mix of him, Brian Antoine, Justin Moore, and then you even have Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, who's played some point forward. I actually look at, can Villanova hit 12 threes or more? Can Jeremiah Robinson-Earl take Baylor's bigs out to the baseline from 15 to 17 feet away from the basket and be able to hit that shot, that tough two? He's hit it throughout this season. It's why he's an All-American candidate and could be an NBA player. Can he create a matchup issue on the perimeter? Villanova needs 5 out. Baylor should be trying to get to the rim and make it an up-tempo game.
Tell me, John, with this Villanova team, and Jay Wright spoke to it in his pregame press conference. We just played some clips from that. Without Colin Gillespie, how does this team change? Because it seems like he was the guy that they built this team around this season.
Wow. This Villanova team changes a ton because Gillespie has been that guy for Villanova that is the heart and soul. Jay Wright's called him the heart and soul all throughout this season. So how does it change? It means that Villanova needs to rely on guys who are not comfortable typically or who have not had a major role in the backcourt handling the ball. And I think that as a result, Villanova, they're limited on the offensive end of the floor. Look at this. When Villanova and Baylor met in Myrtle Beach last year, Colin Gillespie had 27 points in that game. Outside of Justin Moore, Villanova doesn't possess another guard who could have that type of game against Baylor. That's the kind of player Gillespie has been for Villanova. He has a great balance and a great knack of knowing when he needs to score it in a game or when he needs to distribute. And I think that that's lacking for Villanova. That means that Jeremiah Robinson-Earl and Jermaine Samuels, those matchup problem forwards, have to be able to create wrinkles in the Wildcats' offense to try to get team filter, to try to come out to them defensively to the perimeter. That's how it has to be done.
For those just joining us, John Fanta on right now, play-by-play broadcaster at Fox Sports, who covers the Big East. John, with this Villanova team and your career watching this Villanova team and Jay Wright as they've progressed into what some would call on the cusp of being a blue blood, tell me, what about this team this season is maybe different from squads Jay Wright has had in the last 5 years? And does this team match up to those really good teams that Jay Wright has had?
No, this team does not match up to those really good teams Jay Wright has had. Let's look at the 2018 team. You're talking about pros. I mean, you're talking about Mikal Bridges, Dante DiVincenzo, Jalen Brunson, Amari Spellman. 4 guys that were drafted in the top 35 of the NBA draft. You're talking about guys that were head of the association. 2016, you're talking about Josh Hart, Ryan Arcidiacono, Chris Jenkins. Just some more completeness, This Villanova team is good. I don't think it's one of Jay's very, very best teams. And that speaks to Villanova's culture and the fact that they have an interchangeability. What I like about this team when I say interchangeability is they could have different guys hit from the perimeter on any given day. In fact, in the win over North Texas, Villanova had 8 different players hit a 3. So that's the danger that Baylor's running into defensively. You can't commit to any one man because Jay Wright kind of has this. He kind of adapts. He's kind of like a boa constrictor. He's kind of like a chameleon. Like he could change the way he strategizes based on who gets hot. And I like that about this Villanova team, but I don't think it's a great, like when you look at the 2 national championship teams, if this Villanova team won this game, I think it would be one of Jay Wright's best wins in his entire career. In fact, I would put it up there as better than any win besides the North Carolina win in the 2016 national championship game, because I just think Baylor's a better team on paper in almost every facet.
John, when you look at this Villanova team, we've begun to familiarize ourselves with this squad in a weird COVID year where these 2 teams were set to play. We had a little bit of that a couple of months ago. And now for this matchup, most folks just don't understand what it is that makes this Villanova team click, considering they're not familiar with the squad. From your perspective and what you've seen of them, what are the key points? When you look at Villanova, what is your 30,000-foot view of what this team is all about this season?
Well, balance on the perimeter. They need to generate multiple three-point shooters who have it going. Jeremiah Robinson-Earl being the best player on the floor. You're talking about a guy who's going to be an NBA player next year, feeding him early and often, stretching the floor with him. He's a 6'7", 6'8", power forward that can beat you in a ton of different ways. And that's what I think they love about Jeremiah Robinson-Earl is the fact that he is as big as he is. And that he can stretch you out and take you off the dribble, pull up, catch and shoot. He's got so many things that he does well. Jermaine Samuels is a dog. This kid is a warrior. You're going to see him play tomorrow. This kid goes after every loose ball. This is a Villanova team that's rooted in attitude, and it's not a cliche attitude. Like you will see tomorrow, the clapping, how vocal they are. They believe in culture, unlike any program I've ever covered. In the Big East, it's clear who has the best culture. It is Villanova. I don't know how Jay Wright does it, but he does it very, very well. And when you combine that with matchup wrinkles, Villanova is rooted in being able to take away your best player or 2 and make them uncomfortable on the offensive end of the floor. And when Villanova's on offense, they do a terrific job of finding the wrinkles in a defense to say, here's where we're going to get an open look. And if those open looks are falling, we are going to beat you. And I think for Villanova, the final thing that makes them tick that Baylor fans need to be ready for is I expect Villanova to take the shot clock down. This particular Villanova team will take the shot clock down to 10 tomorrow, try to limit the possessions in the game, and hope that the threes are falling, because if they are, Villanova's efficiency will be high, and you will decrease Baylor's chances at a high amount of possessions, which then could neutralize the game.
John, I want to get into your thoughts, your opinions on this Baylor team coming into the matchup. I'm sure you've seen them a little bit, not just because of this game, but over the course of the season as Baylor's been in the media. But I want to know, kind of where I want to go here, the Big East. I mean, no slouch of a conference, and it continues. It seems like it gets better and better every year. Look at Marquette winning by 13 at UNC earlier in the year. That's the 9th best team in the Big East, getting a solid road win against an ACC team. I mean, this Villanova squad is battle-tested in their conference. Look at Patrick Ewing and Georgetown and their run. I mean, what does it say? The strength of the Big East this year, does that mean Baylor's getting an opponent that is battle-tested in Villanova?
For sure. Absolutely. And Villanova played in Bubbleville early on in Connecticut and played good basketball there to beat Arizona State and win that title. Look, this Villanova team has faced quality non-conference opponents, and in conference play, they beat Creighton. Gillespie went down during that game. Villanova still found a way to beat Creighton. They swept Seton Hall team that I thought was better than they were getting credit for throughout the season. Look, Villanova is battle-tested. Villanova is a machine of a program. If Baylor, and I think Baylor will win this game, but this is a tough Sweet 16 opponent for a variety of reasons. Villanova has been able to face a solid schedule, going to Connecticut, and playing in Bubbleville at the start of the season was very valuable for this Wildcats team, I feel, because you were able to experience that, play in a bubble-like atmosphere. Jay Wright always finds ways to get advantages, always finds ways to prepare his team. He's done that with this team here, and they've played a quality schedule. They did get tested, and look, in a world where the Pac-12 has 4 teams, but outside the Pac-12, the Big East is tied for the second most with 2. That's how wild the Sweet 16 is. And Creighton's one of those teams with Villanova. So for me, Villanova's been battle-tested. They're as battle-tested as anybody left, next to probably a Baylor or, because of their non-conference schedule, Gonzaga.
Tell me, John, with this Nova team, too, and I know you built a bracket because just about everybody in the sports media world does. Villanova, round 1, had Winthrop. Very popular upset pick for a lot of people, the 12 over the 5. And then round 2, a North Texas team that was good enough to beat Purdue. So no slouch in North Texas. Are you surprised, though, coming into the tournament, did you have Villanova going this far?
I did. I did have them going this far because I thought with a week to prepare that they would be able to get past Winthrop. When I looked at Winthrop's strength of schedule, it's like 325.
Yeah.
It was a terrible strength of schedule. They hadn't played anybody. And when you don't play anybody and then you face an NBA player like Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, you're going to have trouble, or one would think you're going to have some trouble. Here's the thing about Jay Wright. He had a week to prepare for Winthrop and North Texas, and the guys won 2 of the last 4 national championships. Jay Wright also has never lost as a higher seed. Never. Never. In the 20 years he's been at Villanova, when he's been the higher seed in the NCAA tournament, he has won the game every single time. So Villanova's been the team that people think is going to get upset. They don't get upset because they play such a business-like, workman-like style. I thought they'd get this far and then bow out. I did not think Creighton would get this far. I thought they were going to lose to UC Santa Barbara. They ended up winning the game by a point. But Villanova, for me, because of their culture, I'm telling you, if you're ever at a Villanova game in person, watch them in pregame warmups. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's not cliche. They just have a terrific attitude about them, and it works in games. It keeps them in games.
John, on the other side, you have a Baylor squad, 24-2 now, led by Jared Butler, first-team All-American, Davion Mitchell, third-team All-American, Maceo Teague, All-American honorable mention. And while Baylor doesn't have that Jeremiah Robinson-Earl that is just dominant, scoring in the paint, dominant 15 feet away from the basket as well, they do have a 3-headed monster of guards that are almost unstoppable, have been almost unstoppable this season. When you look across the way from a Villanova perspective, Big East perspective, and see this Baylor team, what worries you? What makes this team so good from the outside looking in?
Everything. They found themselves defensively last weekend. They really did, and that's the defensive tenacity I think it's going to take for them if they get to the national championship game and we get that game against Gonzaga, which I know every college hoops junkie is rooting for that to potentially happen because it would be so much fun for the sport. You have to worry about Baylor's pressure defense. They suffocate you defensively. They make you work for 40 minutes when they're on. And I thought they were on this past weekend. And then you worry about their guard play. Look, you're talking about an All-American and Jared Butler, but Davion Mitchell's playing as well as anybody. Matthew Meyer's going to be a pro. Teague is terrific. And Shamwat Jeff is bold down low. So for me, I look at Baylor and I see a team that is complete. I see a team that when they're engaged on the defensive end of the floor, Drake, I think they could beat anybody. And it shows as a 1 seed, as a team who's put up a year as good as them in a great Big 12. The Baylor Bears are a force to be reckoned with. You have to hope they're a little bit off kilter from the perimeter. If Baylor's knocking down perimeter shots, the game's over. They're going to beat you. But I think what particularly would worry me if I'm Jay Wright is, how do my guards handle Baylor's guards? And how do we handle their defensive pressure? Because if Baylor's forcing turnovers, Villanova's not winning.
How about, John, I mean, when you get to the Sweet 16, you've got an all-star cast of coaches that are still hanging around between Mark Few and Jay Wright. Scott Drew is up there with those guys. Dana Altman, Oregon. When you look at the coaching matchup, though, between Scott Drew and Jay Wright, what excites you about that? It seems like two guys, Northeastern guys, that love the game and are good at what they do.
Two just great guys. First-class guys. It's a compelling coaching matchup between two guys who respect each other, who would play each other anytime, and I love that. They're willing to challenge themselves. And what I see is two guys who really get their teams prepared. I thought more than anything, Baylor looked prepared for their second-round game against Wisconsin. And they had the right game plan. They had the right approach as that game went on. And even though Wisconsin played well in the second half, Baylor weathered that storm. Conversely, Villanova always prepared. They have a balance. They don't rely on any one player. Scott and Jay have done a good job, too, of getting guys who stay around in college basketball, whether it be through the transfer situation, like Baylor's done it. Villanova's done it through transfers and through four-year players as well. You got to get old. Both Jay Wright and Scott Drew believing in getting old in this sport, and they both have surged their programs along in similar ways. Two really good guys who prepare their teams.
And then, John, last question here for you before we get to our daily Bear games. Looking at tomorrow's game, 4:15, taking place on CBS, Baylor and Villanova. First tip to final buzzer, what do you expect to see? What's going to happen tomorrow?
I'm expecting to see Villanova attempting to limit this game into a half-court pace, get the possessions down, be able to keep Baylor out on the perimeter. This game, to me, gets defined by how many turnovers Baylor's able to force and how many threes Villanova hits. If it's a slower tempo game, Villanova will have a chance. If Baylor gets in the open floor, and I think that their playmakers will, I think the Bears are going to find a way to win this game, but I do think it'll be tighter than people might think because just how well Villanova's coached and the fact they've had a full week to prepare for this game. I'm looking for Jeremiah Robinson-Earl and Jermaine Samuels to both feed off one another. And then for Baylor, can Baylor get Matthew Meyer going off of Teague and Mitchell and Butler in the open floor?
John, it's certainly going to be an interesting matchup, and I know we're all excited here to see what takes place tomorrow between two legendary, great coaches. I don't know if Scott Drew has gotten to the legendary status, but maybe a title will get him there this year. I do want to know, though, before we get out of here, we got our Bear Games questions of the day. Every day we take a little bit of a break from sports just to have a little bit of fun with our guests and callers at the end. How about this? You've got the opportunity to go to one steakhouse with one Big East coach. Which steakhouse are you going to and which coach are you fraternizing with?
I'm going to 801 Chop House in Omaha, Nebraska, and I'm going with Ed Cooley of Providence.
Ed Cooley of Providence. See, I thought you would say Patrick Ewing. I know you're a big Pat guy.
I am a huge Pat guy, but Coach Cooley, he always gets me to laugh.
I love it. How about this, John? We're doing the Disney Movie Madness in honor of March 2, where we break down some of the great classic Disney movies of all time. Today's matchup, I don't know if you've seen these, but I'm sure you have. It's Aladdin and Hercules. What do you like out of those two?
I like Aladdin. I think it's a versatile movie with Genie. Genie's kind of the X factor to Aladdin, and I'm all in on a whole new world. And I'll take that over Hercules by a slim margin.
John is locking in Aladdin over Hercules. And then how about Frozen and the movie Bolt with the dog?
Got to go with Frozen. Yeah. Too many music hits in Frozen for Bolt to be able to pull off the upset here. I think Bolt makes an effort, makes a late push. Frozen holds off Bolt for the win.
March is mad, but we're taking the favorites today when it comes to John Fanta's Disney Movie Madness. John, thanks so much for joining the show today, coming on up tempo and giving us your analysis, not just on Disney movies, but a little bit of basketball in there too.
Drake, I love this segment. I love the questions. What I got to find is a steakhouse in Waco. That's on my list next.
Oh, hey, Diamondbacks. Look, John, you come here. We'll go to Diamondbacks together. We will duet A Whole New World in front of the steakhouse, and they'll never forget the day that John Fanta walked into this town.
Medium rare little peppercorn.
Oh, I love it. John, thanks again for coming on today.
Thank you. Absolutely, man. Anytime.
I love it. Again, that was John Fanta of Fox, play-by-play for Fox, covering the Big East. He's been in the Big East for a while, too, folks. I mean, the guy is he's a Seton Hall graduate. He's covered that conference. Great buddies. I'm checking out his Twitter the last couple of weeks as we get in and through March. And big buddies with Patrick Ewing over there at Georgetown. And John does a great job covering and doing play-by-play for Fox Sports for the Big East. And great analysis on Villanova. I think it's the best we've had this week, talking about how this Villanova team, if they are able to get hot from outside, if they're able to hit shots from the outside, they're going to be a really dangerous matchup for Baylor moving into this NCAA tournament game and into the Sweet 16. Villanova's got the pieces. They got the keys. Jeremiah Robinson-Earl is a presence down low. They've got a shot. Baylor's going to have to play solid basketball. If Baylor's off at all tomorrow, Jay Wright's a good enough coach that he can get this Villanova team over the hump. Tell you what, going to be a good one. I'm Drake Toll, Armstrong Sims, Andrew Robertson. We come back. We got 2 matchups in baseball and softball this weekend in Big 12 play that are huge, huge. Softball opens up their slate at Texas Tech. Baseball at number 12, TCU. We're going to break those down here from both of those head coaches. After this is Up Tempo.
It was a busy day in women's basketball yesterday as the round of 32 concluded. 8 more teams punched tickets to the Sweet 16. Starting with upsets, 6 seed Oregon toppled 3 seed Georgia 57-50, and 6 seed Texas advanced past 3 seed UCLA 71-62. Elsewhere, 2 seed Texas A&M snuck by 7 seed Iowa State 84-82 on a buzzer beater in overtime. Questionable calls down the stretch gave the Lady Aggies an advantage for the second tournament game in a row. On the men's side, everything is gearing up for the Sweet 16 that takes place starting on Saturday. Duke freshman Jamin Brakefield plans to transfer from the team. UNC freshman Day'Ron Sharp has declared for the NBA draft. Florida sophomore Trey Mann has declared for the NBA draft, and Pittsburgh's Justin Champagny will also test the NBA waters. In football, it's time for spring ball. Baylor kicked off its spring drills yesterday as media got its first look at the 4-person quarterback battle. Another open practice will take place today. And Texas has paused its spring football practice due to COVID-19. Oklahoma coach Lincoln Riley is protesting TCU quarterback Chandler Morris's eligibility after he transferred from Oklahoma. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. It's been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
With your Ram truck from Allen Samuels, you may not have to plow through snow and mud or pull heavy loads, but you could. During the Big Finish year-end event, you get a Ram deal like no other. Employee pricing for all, 0% for 84, and no payments for 90 days. Ram 1500 Lone Star for Christmas. No other truck comes close. And ask about Big Finish pricing on Ram Heavy Duty and Ram ProMaster for your business. Happy holidays from Allen Samuels.
How did Edward Jones become one of the biggest financial service companies in the world? By not acting that way. Financial strategies, one-on-one advice, it's a big difference. And that's why Brad Wilson, your Edward Jones financial advisor, makes sense of investing. Experience the difference for yourself. Brad Wilson, 250 Sharon Drive in Woodway, 254-776-4337. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be a part of the Waco community. We're a small family business right here in Central Texas, and our goal is to bring down the cost of healthcare while maintaining high quality. At times like this, the cost of healthcare has never been more important, and unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. That's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through the difficult time. We offer premium MRIs just like a hospital with state-of-the-art technology and specialists, but you'll pay less. Sometimes thousands of dollars less, whether you're using insurance or not. At Ideal MRI, we accept most insurance and there are no hidden costs, even offering financing if that's needed. Everything included in the price, and you'll not get something as a surprise in the mail later on. If you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. They'll know. You can schedule an appointment safely from home online in minutes at idealmri.com or give us a call, 833-IDEAL-MRI, idealmri.com.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance has protected fellow Texans with auto, home, health, and life insurance since 1952. With more than 260,000 square miles of land and 27 million people, that's a lot to cover. Whether you're wrangling cattle or wrangling kids, we're proud to protect Texans in all Texan ways of life.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Waco Custom Marketplace is your home for holiday favorites for parties and the time with family. Various specials available in-store and online. A variety of steak gift boxes with 4 ribeyes for $70, 4 bacon wrapped fillets for $55, or 4 New York strips for $50, and all come with steak butter. Fall snack box for watching a game or wrapping presents or hosting people at your house, including summer sausage, split horn, and jalapeno cheese and salted crackers for only $35. 2 pieces of lobster tails with herb butter and 2 bacon wrapped fillets for $60. Order online or call in advance to ensure availability, or drop by Waco Custom Marketplace at 425 Lake Air Drive. Waco Custom Marketplace has a full-service butcher shop for customized orders or cuts of your favorite steaks or beef tenderloin or specially ordered prime rib roast. Plus, what you want with pork, poultry, seafood, and more. Waco Custom Marketplace, 425 Lake Air Drive in Waco, or WacoCustomMarketplace.com.
I got breaking news here. We got Western Athletic Conference just announced they're adding several schools.
The WAC.
The WAC.
Okay. Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
I think Coach Gundy would be like my guy that I would just like just a hair. Yeah. I just want to be able to see it flow when I kind of slam his arm down.
Here's Drake Toll.
All right, welcome back in the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. It is Friday, folks. How about it? We've got a little bit of Baylor baseball action coming up here. This weekend, Baylor baseball, the number not ranked team in the country, playing at the number 12 team in the country. Some of the headline storylines for this one. So it'll be left-handed pitcher Tyler Thomas, who's 2-1 with a 1.93 ERA on Friday against TCU's ace Russell Smith, 3-1, 2.39 ERA. He is that's the Friday matchup, tonight's matchup. Baylor's right-handed pitcher Blake Helton, 1-1, 4.43 ERA, takes the mound on Saturday against left-handed pitcher Austin Krob of TCU. He's 2-0, 3.16 ERA. How about this? Then Sunday, it is Baylor's Hayden Kettler, 2-0, 1.45 ERA. Kid's a stud. Guy's a stud. Bears have swept the last 2 series against the Horned Frogs, 2018-2019. Baylor 6 straight wins against TCU. In those 6 games, Baylor outscored TCU 49-11. Baylor's also won. They won the series in 2017 and 2016. Head coach Steve Rodriguez, 10-5 all-time against TCU, 5-1 at Lupton Baseball Stadium in Fort Worth. The Bears, first in the nation, 229 total hits, averaging a league-best 325 batting average right now. 325 batting average, 6th in the nation. 8 of Baylor's top 10 hitters are hitting 300 or better. Jared McKenzie, 374. Jack Pineda, 371. On the season, Baylor has had double-digit hits 15 of 20 games. Folks, not only are they 15 of 20 games, double-digit hits. Not only are they hitting the ball against the Xaviers and the Memphises of the world, they smacked the baseball against Texas. 11 runs on Sunday. They beat down Texas on Sunday. If you look at, let's check this out, all right? Let's do a little math. Let's crunch some numbers right here on the Baylor baseball schedule. So we know, I forgot they lost to Sam Houston State on Tuesday. That sucked, but hey, they'll be fine. Look at the schedule against Texas, all right? Looking at, what is it? This is last year's baseball schedule? No, 2021. Come on. The Texas series, they lose game 1, 3-5. They lose game 2, 3-4. So the combined score in that is 9-6, right? They go on to win game 3, 11-2. So 20-11. The total run, the run total in the series versus Texas. Baylor won overall runs. Obviously, that doesn't matter a ton, but Baylor proved on Sunday the offense is still there. There's a loss to UT Arlington, not Sam Houston, UT Arlington on Tuesday night. So Baylor's lost 3 out of the last 4, trying to regain some momentum at number 12 TCU. How about this? Friday night and Sunday afternoon starters Tyler Thomas and Hayden Kettler been on the tear. T-Tom has continued to impress after compiling a 1.93 ERA, sporting a 2-1 record. Kettler, Texas native, has a team-best 30 strikeouts, holding opponents to 184 batting average in 5 starts. Thomas thrown more innings than he did last year already, thrown a total of 6.2 innings in relief after coming off a surgery to remove a rib in June 2019 due to his thoracic outlet syndrome. Nice. As a fifth-year senior, Kettler anchored down the rotation, 1.45 ERA, 1.45 ERA. That's unbelievable. 2-0 record in 3 Sunday starts. Coppell native struck out 18 batters compared to 2 walks in 18.2 innings pitched. In his last 2 starts, he's tied his career-long outing. 7 innings against Xavier, 7 against Texas, combined .64 ERA in both of those. And then Andy Thomas finished last week with UT Arlington in Texas, hitting 11 for 21. That's .524. Had a .905 slugging percentage, 2 home runs, 2 doubles, 7 runs scored, 8 RBI across 5 total games. On the week, he also finished second in the Big 12 in total bases with 19. First Big 12 series of 2021. Against Texas, he went 8 for 15 with 5 runs, 3 RBI. On the season, Thomas hitting .355, 24 RBI, third in the league, 24 runs scored, 5th in the league. For his efforts, he was named the Bobby Bragan Player of the Week this past Wednesday. Those are some of the notes coming into this game against the TCU Horned Frogs. They're 13-7, number 12 in the country. Baylor unranked at 13-7, 1-2 in Big 12. This is the Horned Frogs' first series of conference play. We see it go down starting tonight. Game 1 takes place tonight in a 3-game series, 6:30 p.m. start time. I'm Drake Toll. No. We've got Steve Rodriguez right here. Steve Rodriguez spoke to the media with a couple of these players, prefacing TCU in this series. Rodriguez has had a lot of success against these guys. Here are their thoughts coming into the big weekend slate against the number 12 Horned Frogs.
Esty, how's it going?
Good. How about you?
Good. After the Saturday Texas game, Andy actually said, he said, I still feel like we're the better team. He said, I just don't feel like we've shown it yet. And then we were just talking to Logan, and he mentioned that he knew that y'all could play a lot better. Is it safe to say that, you guys are a fairly confident team, even when things aren't always going your way?
Yeah, I think that's a good mentality to have. You obviously don't want to go into any game not feeling good about what your team can do and how you guys can perform. So I think that's definitely part of our approach going into whatever game we play. We're going to be confident in our abilities and our ability to get the job done and just pass the bat on to other teammates and for pitchers to throw strikes and make plays on defense. I think we have the confidence that we can compete with anybody, no matter who it is.
Feeling like that, feeling like, y'all could have played better against Texas. Do you like being able to now turn around and show that against the number 12 team in the country now?
Absolutely. We want to bounce back. We know we played well, but we knew we didn't play to our full potential last weekend. So we kind of hashed it out, looked at some of the things that we could get better on and improve on. And we're ready to show that this next weekend, especially against TCU, is kind of like our rivals.
You guys are hitting over like 320 as a team. How have you been able to do that? I mean, you got like 10 guys hitting over 300. I mean, does it just come down to approach or what?
Yeah, it definitely comes down to approach. We've talked about it as a team. We just want to have the same approach every at-bat, whether that's executing a play or just being able to be on time to a pitch that we can hit and do damage with. We want to be ready to hit. We know that our lineup 1 through 9 and even guys on our bench will be able to step up at any time in the game and do what the team needs to be done. So being able to be consistent with that and just stick to that as much as possible, I think that's what allows us to be so successful on the offensive side.
Esty, you'll hit sometimes right after the middle of the lineup. Coach Rod will move you in and out a little bit, but move you up and down a little bit. But how do you view your role? Because it seems like you're a great on base guy, and sometimes you go up there swinging. Sometimes it's the long at bat, getting a walk or hit by a pitch. On base percentage, great on base percentage. How do you view all that in terms of what you're going up there? Just your role in this lineup.
My role is, I think, how is the same role for the other guys, and it's just being able to get the job done when it's necessary. Whether it's we need a guy to get on base to start off an inning, we're going to work the at-bat to be able to do that. If we need RBIs in, we're going to look for a pitch that we can do the job with. We can either put in the outfield or get a ground ball to score a guy. And if it's sometimes just working a walk, trying to get a pitcher tired so that we can just see more pitches, then that's what we're going to do. And kind of like I said before, 1 through 9, I think every single one of our guys has the ability to do that. So it's kind of nice knowing that your teammates all around you, whether they hit in front of you or behind you, can do the same job. And like whether you're not able to succeed in that job, and you're at bat, you know that the next guy is able to pick you up.
Yeah.
Logan, you guys, obviously get off to a bit of a rough start against Texas, but then come back and win that final game. Do you take any momentum out of that as you go to TCU?
Oh yeah, of course. Losing those first two to Texas was tough, but then obviously to come out on Sunday and play the way we did, it kind of left the feeling, the feeling with us, inside us that, we're better than the way we played Friday and Saturday, and we showed it on Sunday. And that momentum coming out of that series from that Sunday game is going to carry into this weekend, knowing that, Texas being who they are and the numbers that we put up or that we feel like we should have put up don't necessarily reflect who we are as a team, and that we know that we're better than that, and we're going to carry that into this weekend.
Do you guys like, getting to, right out of conference play, it's your first conference series in, 2 years, you play Texas, now you're playing TCU. Do you guys like kind of jumping in right in there with a couple of the conference favorites and mixing it up?
Yeah. I kind of a motto that we've kind of brought up amongst our team is competition breeds success. So that's what, we love the competition and the guys that we have on the team, we love the competition and we think it makes us better. And, that's what the way we look at it. And, what better way to start, I guess, than against the two teams that you wouldn't want to play any more than, I guess, anybody else. So.
And Bryce kind of touched on it right there, but for you guys as players, how much of a difference is there winning that game on Sunday and avoiding a sweep? Just the difference between, you may have lost the series, but you were able to salvage a game.
Right. And we can't see what kind of effect it's going to have on, the total season right now, but down the road at the end of the year, that one game may or may not, break. If we make a regional here, we make a regional there, or where we add up at the end of the season. So as of right now, the long-term effects of winning that game, we can't see it, but at the end of the year, that's what it could come down to.
Logan, what do y'all see from TCU this weekend? And is there an extra sense of we really got to beat these guys because it's TCU and there's that school rivalry thing going on?
A little bit. I wouldn't say that we read into it too much. We like to show up and play regardless of who it is or the backstory there. So as far as that goes, I think we're going to show up and play regardless of who it is and the backstory and the rivalry. Sure, there's a little extra emotive there for some of the guys and the team itself. But like I said, regardless of who it is, we're going to show up and play.
And on a weekend like that, Coach, where a little bit of a rough first couple games, but how much of a lift is it to leave that series with that taste in your mouth of playing as well as y'all did on Sunday?
I think our guys realize, like I said, we have a lot of guys who have not played, Big 12 baseball yet. And so that was a really good taste for them playing against a really good Texas team. And I thought we played really well most of the weekend. We made some mistakes, just like they're always going to do. But I was really happy with how they rebounded on Sunday. And, they kept the same energy level the whole weekend, and that was good to see. And so hopefully we do that same thing this weekend.
What do you kind of see from the Frogs?
TCU, they can really pitch. They have a lot of team speed. They have a lot of new players. They had a tremendous amount of turnover. And so, we're going to have to really just kind of learn who they are. But at the same time, just watching video and stuff like that, we know that they have really good pitching, really good team speed. They're going to play better defense. So we have to the biggest thing I think for us this week is being able to score some runs. But the biggest thing is just eliminating the free bases. That's going to be a big thing this week.
And with you all obviously jumping right into conference play with, two of the teams that were thought to be two of the better teams in the conference, do you like that kind of jumping right into the fire and seeing what you have against what are thought to be some of the best teams?
I think I just like being able to jump in and play. Regardless of who it is. And I think I take it regardless of what team we're playing. I kind of give it that little side eye, like, okay, what are we going to get here? But I'll tell you what, I was really pleasantly surprised with our guys. I thought they managed themselves well. I thought they handled themselves well. I thought they got rid of the jitters fairly quickly. I thought they did everything I was expecting them to do, minus a couple mistakes. They played really well. And I'm expecting the same thing this weekend. I want them to play relaxed, play to have some fun, do what they're capable of doing, take complete ownership of what their job is, and let the thing run.
Freaking love baseball season, man. Steve Rodriguez gearing his guys up for this weekend series between Baylor and TCU in Fort Worth. Hitting a break right here. When we come back, we're talking softball. Softball opens their Big 12 slate against Texas Tech in Lubbock. This is Uptempo.
It was a busy day in women's basketball yesterday as the round of 32 concluded. 8 more teams punched tickets to the Sweet 16. Starting with upsets, 6th seed Oregon toppled 3 seed Georgia 57-50, and 6th seed Texas advanced past 3 seed UCLA 71-62. Elsewhere, 2 seed Texas A&M snuck by 7 seed Iowa State 84-82 on a buzzer beater in overtime. Questionable calls down the stretch gave the Lady Aggies an advantage for the second tournament game in a row. On the men's side, everything is gearing up for the Sweet 16 that takes place starting on Saturday. Duke freshman Jamin Brakefield plans to transfer from the team. UNC freshman Dayron Sharp has declared for the NBA draft. Florida sophomore Trey Mann has declared for the NBA draft, and Pittsburgh's Justin Champagny will also test the NBA waters. In football, it's time for spring ball. Baylor kicked off its spring drills yesterday as media got its first look at the 4-person quarterback battle. Another open practice will take place today, and Texas has paused its spring football practice due to COVID-19. Oklahoma coach Lincoln Riley is protesting TCU quarterback Chandler Morse's eligibility after he transferred from Oklahoma. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. It's been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Uptempo.
With more than 160,000 alumni worldwide and counting, the Baylor family is growing. And through the university's expanded Baylor alumni program, the family is growing closer. With hundreds of local volunteers planning events in cities and towns around the country, you can gather with fellow Bears no matter where you are. So, get connected, get something started, get involved, and make plans to get together with Baylor alumni. Visit us at baylor.edu/alumni.
Don Humidor, your home with a 48-foot walk-in humidor with the elite cigar brands from around the world, including the #1 cigar of the year, Aging Room Cuatro Nicaragua. Plus, they have the great brands like Macanudo and Artur Fuente, Rocky Patel, Aston, and so much more. CBD, great for sore muscles, aches and pains, sleep, Vita Dreams, and anxiety, mild depression, general health and wellness. Their staff very knowledgeable on the subject. If anyone is curious about CBD, ask Carol and Ashley. Don Humidor in the Townwest Shopping Center off Valley Mills in Waco.
What you do in privacy is your own business. What you do in public with your truck, well, that's our business at Pickup Outfitters. In your garage, it's okay for your truck to parade around in the nude with no accessories. Hey, this is still America. But when you bring your truck out in public, it's just common decency to put an outfit on your truck. And that's where we come in at Pickup Outfitters. Put a cover on that bed. Cover your rear end with a bumper and a hitch, for goodness sakes. There are women and children on the roads. And guys, don't leave your tools exposed. Put them in a toolbox. Be proud of your truck and stand tall with a lift kit. Or improve your truck's posture with a leveling kit. Add some class to your pickup with new wheels and tires. Or dress up for a date with your new RV or boat with a fifth wheel or a receiver hitch. At Pickup Outfitters, we're dedicating to making the roads decent for all Central Texans. So when taking your truck out in public, remember your manners and accessorize it properly with an outfit from Pickup Outfitters. 220 Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Hey, this is Bryce Petty, former starting quarterback and 2-time Big 12 champion, and I know firsthand the importance of being in top shape both on and off the field. So listen up, men. If you're feeling beat down day in and day out and looking for that high-performance edge that separates the men from the boys, then look no further than the Petty Clinic Low T in Waco. Petty Clinic is a comprehensive men's healthcare clinic with an atmosphere catering to men. Board-certified Dr. Kent Petty has a special interest in offering the highest quality medical care to men of all ages. Some of the services offered include screening and treatment for low testosterone or thyroid, infertility, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, while offering comprehensive wellness exams and complete men's health lab panels. High performance men, remember, it's not just a Petty thing. This is Bryce Petty, encouraging you to reach out and Google search Petty Clinic Low T or go to pettycliniclowt.com and get your complimentary lab screening today.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Cynthia, Jesus died for our Cynthias.
Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122.
Julia Roberts, Julia Rob.
Now back to the Bears Den with Drake Toll.
Welcome back to the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. Happy Friday, folks. Julia Rob Hurts. I love it. I love it. Friday, baby. Hey, you got that baseball slate coming up 3 days straight. A solid ball over in Fort Worth against number 12 TCU, 13-7 Baylor, 13-7 TCU. But how about a little softball action? Coach Glenn Moore is back on the turf after just a little bit of so there was just a hiccup. He had a procedure done, a couple of hiccups there, but he's back. He's back in action. He missed the last couple of games with the softball team, but they're going to open up their softball season, their softball Big 12 season, I should say, against Texas Tech this weekend for the first time in 722 days. Lady Bears play a Big 12 game because the 2020 season was cut short due to COVID-19. Currently riding a 6-game road winning streak, 12-2 in road and neutral sites this season, including ranked wins at number 13 Louisiana and number 9 Arizona State. So how about that? During the 6-game road winning streak, they're outscoring opponents 49-11. That is unbelievable, and Baylor tries to keep that going against Texas Tech this weekend. How about this? Madison Kettler and Coach Glenn Moore sat down and spoke with media. Hear this from Baylor softball in their pregame press conference, talking all things Texas Tech matchup this weekend.
Madison, I guess just opening conference, what's the excitement level, particularly when you look back just to a year ago and y'all weren't able to play any conference games?
Yeah, I'm super thrilled. I can probably speak for our whole team that we're thankful to be back and representing in the Big 12 and really excited to go down to Lubbock and open up and represent Baylor.
You've been on a pretty good tear here of late. What's been the key for you? And, just kind of talk about what's been going well for you.
I think just realizing this is my last year and going out there and having fun and giving it all to God and just enjoying every moment I get to step on that field and put on this uniform because there's not many days left.
Madison, this is John Werner, the Trib. You are hitting over 300 as a team. Y'all been producing really well. What do you feel like's going on there? Why have y'all been so productive?
Yeah, I think throughout our lineup, we've had to resort to some of our girls with injuries, and we've been able to come together and maybe bits and pieces of our lineup, maybe not performing, but the other pieces will step up and perform that game. So I think just kind of all feeding off each other's energy and linking these hits that we need to get some wins in the column.
Okay, thank you.
Madison, I guess Texas Tech, obviously a new head coach. Have y'all noticed anything different about them, or what do y'all expect from them?
I would say probably the same team. I mean, we know they do have a new coach up there, but we're going up there to play Baylor softball at the end of the day, and we're excited to make that trip to Lubbock, Texas.
Madison, one more. You guys played the other night, and Gia pitching the way she did there, was that good to see her kind of bounce back and really kind of pitch the way y'all know she can?
Yes, it was great to see Gia come out and perform. And I mean, the performance she put up and the stats and everything, just being on the field and seeing it too, she's definitely ready for conference. And we're all excited as a team for her to see out there and competing and ready for the weekend.
Thanks, Madison. Rec Tech.
How are y'all doing?
Doing good, Glenn. I guess first, opening Big 12, do you like where you're at right now, or kind of what's your thoughts there?
Yeah, I guess, dealing with all the things that we are having to deal with, the biggest plus is to see that Gia's looking more like Gia, and she's been in a good place whenever we needed her the most, and we felt like she would get there. We'll find out this weekend, but she's looked really good her last two outings, so I'm really happy about that. I don't think, had a little mix up in our lineup with losing Nikki, Anna, and Emily Hott. So that stunned us a little bit. So our offensive production hasn't been where I hoped it would be going into Big 12 play. But not too long ago, we had some big offensive games. So hopefully we'll get back on track. Emily will be back, and that'll help us out a little bit as well.
Okay, so the other two won't be back this weekend? Or?
Right.
Okay. What, as far as Gia, what was maybe her issues and how has she corrected it, do you think?
Yeah, I think the biggest issue with Gia was her speeds. Her top end speeds were in the low 60s, 58 to 61. And that just doesn't allow her best pitch to be as effective as it could be, which is her changeup. It's effective and it's still a good pitch, but it's much more effective whenever they have to dig in for that 65 mile an hour pitch, 64, 66. It's much more effective. I think she's getting her speeds back and getting a little bit more movement on the ball. Just talked to Coach Newman, and I think she felt the movement this past, day before yesterday at Sam Houston was better and locating the ball better. So she just thinks that she's just really fine-tuning some things. And Sam Houston is not a terrible hitting team either. So to completely shut down that offense certainly is encouraging.
Obviously, Coach, Texas Tech, a new head coach out there. Is there anything different about them? Obviously, the roster is not going to change that much, but have you noticed anything different with them out there?
I've watched them a little bit. They're kind of have been up and down a little bit. When they're playing well, they're really good. They have two good arms, Edmondson and Zoe, lefty and a righty, two complete different style pitchers that can really wreak havoc on some good offenses. Both have had their moments of struggle this year. 2 years ago, they were both almost unhittable, and this year they've had some ups and downs, like many pitching staffs. So I think once they get in sync, they're going to be very, very tough. It has, I don't know that it has anything to do with new coaching. Watching their play, they look very similar to the team we saw 2 years ago that came in here and was probably the best Texas Tech team that I've seen since I've been here. So I know the players are still there and they're capable. So I'm expecting for them to open up Big 12 with a lot of excitement and be very tough to beat up there.
So Glenn, how are you doing?
I'm better. I got I've got to take it easy. They're letting me go under the condition that I don't have any physical activity and that I coach from the dugout, don't get upset. So I'm planning on asking the umpires at the conference if they blow a call, if they'll come over to the dugout so I can gripe at them over
there. Glenn, I guess I'm behind on this. Did you have COVID or something? Or
no, John, I don't mind you asking either. I had went in for a heart cath and had two blockages in my widowmaker of 80 and 90%. And got lucky. I had some dizzy spells over the last few weeks and started getting some tests, and they put stents and opened them up. So yeah, that's what I've been dealing with a little bit. Had a little trouble during the surgery. So recovering from that and feeling pretty good overall. I'm just really tired and winded right now, but that's normal and that'll come back.
Well, hope you.
I'll probably still do more work around here than Hoot and Britt, so.
I hope you're recovering well, Glenn.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That from Glenn Moore and company. They got a series against Texas Tech as they open Big 12 play this weekend. Yeah, I mean, he had a bit of a little procedure. Came back, though. He's healthy. He'll be back on the sidelines coming up this weekend. When we come back, though, Trinity Oliver joins the show. Redshirt junior guard for Baylor that's been one of the staples of this team this season as they square off in the Sweet 16 against Michigan tomorrow. That is up next. This is Up Tempo.
It was a busy day in women's basketball yesterday as the round of 32 concluded. 8 more teams punched tickets to the Sweet 16. Starting with upsets, 6th seed Oregon toppled 3 seed Georgia 57-50, and 6th seed Texas advanced past 3 seed UCLA 71-62. Elsewhere, 2 seed Texas A&M snuck by 7 seed Iowa State 84-82 on a buzzer beater in overtime. Questionable calls down the stretch gave the Lady Aggies an advantage for the second tournament game in a row. On the men's side, everything is gearing up for the Sweet 16 that takes place starting on Saturday. Duke freshman Jamin Brakefield plans to transfer from the team. UNC freshman Dayron Sharp has declared for the NBA draft. Florida sophomore Trey Mann has declared for the NBA draft, and Pittsburgh's Justin Champagny will also test the NBA waters. In football, it's time for spring ball. Baylor kicked off its spring drills yesterday as media got its first look at the 4-person quarterback battle. Another open practice will take place today, and Texas has paused its spring football practice due to COVID-19. Oklahoma coach Lincoln Riley is protesting TCU quarterback Chandler Morse's eligibility after he transferred from Oklahoma. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. It's been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like First Free Checking, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Let Camille Johnson Realtors guide you seamlessly through the process of buying your dream home or selling your current one. Commercial, farm and ranch, or residential, Camille Johnson Realtors can smoothly and successfully lead you through any transaction. With a team of 28 experienced agents who are excited about serving you, Camille Johnson Realtors services the entire greater Waco area. If you're in the market to buy or sell, contact Camille Johnson Realtors, 104 Midway Center in Woodway, or find them online at www.camillejohnson.com. Camille Johnson Realtors, elegant, charming, warm. Welcome home.
Bird Culchin Ford has been in Waco since 1936. Ford, the #1 selling truck in Texas, 43 years running. And Bird Culchin Ford proudly supports high school football in Central Texas. And no better way to tailgate with a Ford than from Bird Culchin Ford. And are there better vehicles to tailgate with than the Ford F-150 or the Ford Expedition? And of course, you can get them new, pre-owned Bird Culchin Ford. Our sponsor of the Ford Tough Player of the Week, locally owned dealership. Online at bkford.com at 1701 West Loop 340 in Waco. Bird Culchin Ford.
The holidays are here, and I have a simple question for you. Will you weigh as much more or less than you do right now when the holidays are over? Why not end the year in better shape than when you started and create momentum for 2021? Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness has numerous options for stocking stuffer gifts with gift cards for gym or tennis membership, fitness merchandise, tanning, massage, tennis lessons, and personal training. Perhaps a gift for a client, a family member, or a friend. You just need to walk through the front door to change your life. Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness with personal trainers Christy London and Randall Corley. 40-plus group exercise classes, including twice-a-week boot camp. Spacious, clean workout room, free weights, Cybex cardio equipment, and no intimidation. A tremendous camaraderie and family atmosphere. So get the best and healthiest Christmas gift you can for someone or yourself. It's time to react today, not tomorrow, at Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness on Lake Shore Drive in Waco.
Learning to navigate life in the COVID-19 world has been a struggle, and where and how to get tested has been one of the biggest challenges. Impact Health Labs has your answer. If you need mass testing for your office, church, dormitory, or school, Impact Health Labs is who to call. They will come to you, conduct the testing at your location, and have the test back within 24 hours. Most major insurance accepted, meaning your out-of-pocket cost is low. So no more waiting by the phone for days to find out the results. Impact Health Labs was founded by 3 Army licensed and credentialed medical professionals. They believe in accuracy, efficiency, and doing the job right. Call 254-744-6233 to set up your group screening today. Impact Health Labs, on-site, prompt, and accurate, taking COVID-19 head-on. Again, that number is 254-744-6233 or online at impacthealthlabs.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Now back to the Bears Den with Drake Toll for a Baylor take on your lunch break.
Welcome back into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. Happy Friday, everybody. Coming up on a big weekend, Sweet 16 action on the men's side, Sweet 16 action on the women's side as well. It is Baylor and Michigan squaring off now, just about a day away. We've got Trinity Oliver, Lady Bear, joining the show to help us break things down. Tell us a little bit what it's like to be in the bubble. Trinity, thanks for coming on the show today.
So the bubble life is just basically practice, eating, relaxing, and just getting your mind right and just staying focused.
Trinity, for you, being there with this team, what's that?
I said, and COVID testing. We test every day.
And COVID testing. I'm sure it's one of the more fun parts you guys get to be a part of, being there in San Antonio. Tell me, with this team, obviously, every team's different, but the dream is to have a tight-knit group that loves being around each other. And for you guys, you're getting to be together now for what should be 3 weeks, just up close and personal. What has it been like as a team, the bonding experience of being in the bubble together?
It's been really good. I mean, I think we all get along. We all pull for each other all the time, and just having extra time to just spend and play games or something like that, or just be in each other's company. I think that's always comforting, and it gets us ready to do the same thing, have that same chemistry on the court. So, it could be, being around the same people for so long all the time, but it also can be a really positive thing when it comes down to just knowing each other and what we like and what we don't like, and that plays a role on the court as well.
Trinity, for you, I mean, season-ending ACL injury in your freshman season. And you come back from that to now be in the Sweet 16 this year, the COVID. I mean, all the adversity that you've faced. What is it? What is it that makes this year so special coming off of that kind of adversity?
Well, first I want to just give a thanks to God. I really turned to him during, my ACL injury and my time where I wasn't, where I wanted to be and the successes and all that stuff. I just stayed the course and stayed focused. And I knew that eventually, the rain would stop and, the sun would come out for me. And so I think that, once you keep going, you keep fighting that good fight or whatever, it's good. Something good's going to come out of it. And that's what I'm seeing right now as far as being in the starting role and, just having a bigger impact on the team and, making it this far as the Sweet 16, and just enjoying each other and enjoying, how far we've come. And of course, the adversity with COVID and all that stuff, we knew we were going to have to face that eventually. And so I'm just glad we did it further earlier in the season than now. So I was willing he, brings us farther or gets us to the Final Four and the championship as well.
Trinity, you got a Michigan team coming up here in the Sweet 16. They're one of the best teams in the Big Ten. They've got Naz Hillman, who's the Big Ten Player of the Year. What do you see out of this Michigan team that really makes them tick?
Well, she is what makes them tick. When, she's rolling and they can get the ball to her and she can, operate in the post and post deep, they are a better team. And, when they have her, if they double team her, she can kick it out to the shooters or something like that. But she is what makes that team operate. And so our main focus is to, limit her touches, make other people score and be effective. But, with our post play and how good we're playing with defense right now and how aggressive we are, I don't see a problem, with the matchups and stuff like that. But, she is what makes them go. So if we can limit her and contain her, I think that it'll be a good, good game for us. We'll get the win.
Trinity, how about this? One of the ESPN analysts the other night in the game that you guys played against Virginia Tech said that Baylor's defense, it is obvious why your team is so good at defense. And for those that follow the team, they know why it's obvious. But for those that maybe are unfamiliar, what is it that makes Baylor women's basketball's defense so dominant?
Well, I think first Smokey says if you can't play defense, then you're not going to play for her. But so that makes us really lock in, or for me it does at least. You always want to stay on the court. And so if you can limit your opponents to, really low shooting percentages and can really get them frazzled and things like that on the offensive end. I think that, you're limiting your opponents to like 30% or less. I mean, there's no way you can win the basketball game. And so when we take pride in our defense and we lock in, and we're also executing on offense, I mean, we're just a crazy good team when we're all locked in on the same page defensively. And then offense is just, natural. We're just going to execute and, just do what we need to do.
Trinity, I want to ask you this as a preface for my next question. Did you come to Baylor to win a national championship?
Of course. I didn't just come to play. We came to win, and I've been a part of one national championship, and so I'm definitely feeding for another one. It's an unbelievable feeling. I mean, just to experience all that joy with your teammates and all that hard work throughout the summer and throughout the year that you go through, and to see it pay off when you get that national championship, like, it's insane. It's an amazing feeling.
Trinity, from that question to this, you've come all this way to Baylor to win a national championship. You already have won, and now you're on that stage again with a chance again to do it all over. What is that feeling like to be right there just a couple of games away from competing to win it all again?
I mean, and we're right here. You might as well do it. But I just also take that perspective of taking the game at a time. I don't want to rush anything, but, if we can just take a day or game by game and then out of nowhere you're making it to the Final Four. So then you're like, well, for us, we're like, well, we're in the Final Four already. You might as well take it all. But it gives you an extra boost, I think, for something to fight for. And we're the defending champs 2019. So, to keep that tradition going and the championships going, I think that's what keeps us fired up and keeps us burning, that we want to defend that title because, I mean, rightfully so, I think that we can do it.
Trinity, for you guys, you have a coach in Kim Mulkey who's been here so many times, and she knows what she's doing in the NCAA tournament and on the basketball floor in general. And even while things are different this year in the pandemic and the bubble, she's one of the best to ever do it. What is it like to be with a coach like Kim Mulkey in an NCAA tournament setting?
Well, I think, of course, she definitely knows what she's doing, and she does a great job of keeping us focused when we need to be focused and locked in, and knowing what, our next task is at hand, and keeping us gelled together at the right times. She's always saying, just stay focused, stay where you are, mentally and physically prepared to play the next games. And we're not in any team for granted. We're always studying and watching film and knowing team strengths and weaknesses. And I just think that, of course, she's been in the game for so long and coaching for so long. She's a winner. And so when I'm around her, I just try to be a sponge and just absorb everything she says and just to trust her. I think that we all have trust in her and to lead us to a national championship win. So I think that with her leadership role and just knowing how to get there and our trust in her, it's a great feeling to have a coach like that.
And then Trinity, last question for you here before we get into our Bear games. This team, what makes this Baylor Lady Bear team national championship caliber?
I think for sure our defense. I think that I haven't seen anyone's defense that is as toned in or as ours. And so I think that if we can defend anybody and any team, then, offensively, it's not going to be, as hard to, execute and stuff like that. But, there's a saying, I think it's offense wins games, but defense wins championships. And I think that that's what we are. I think we are that team to win the championship from defense.
I love it. Trinity, now we're going to get into our Bear Games questions of the day. Every guest and caller, we end it with these. We take a little bit of a break from sports and give you something fun to leave with. How about this? If you could go to one steakhouse with one Lady Bear assistant basketball coach, which steakhouse you going to and who you eating with?
Steakhouse? I don't even eat steak. But assistant, probably Messer or Jordan Westbrook.
Westbrook locked in. And then, doesn't even have to be a steakhouse. You got to take him to a restaurant, though. Where are you going?
Something with seafood. I love seafood. So, some salmon, shrimp, all of that. All of the seafood, I'll eat that.
Bring it on. How about this? Aladdin or Hercules?
Ooh, that is hard. Aladdin or Hercules. I'm going to go with Hercules.
Hercules locked in. And last one here for you, Trinity. How about Frozen or Bolt?
Ooh, Frozen.
Hammering Frozen. Trinity Oliver, thanks so much for joining the show today and talking all things women's basketball and a little bit of Disney movies.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Again, that was Trinity Oliver, Lady Bear basketball player, talking about the Sweet 16 they got coming up tomorrow against Michigan. When we come back, Pat Bradley of the SEC Network joins the show. This is Up Tempo.
With so many companies and policies out there, it gets so confusing shopping for insurance, and I never know if I'm getting the policy that's right for me. Luckily, I met the team at the Niche Group Insurance Agency. With the Niche Group, you can go to one company and get access to coverage options from many insurance carriers, and you get to speak to a real person about your specific coverage needs. With the Niche Group, I know I'm getting the right coverage at the right price. If you need insurance, talk to the experts at the Niche Group at 1-800-258-8302.
Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, the team physician of Baylor Athletics. Our doctors specialize in the diagnosis and treatment of any and all sports-related injuries. Celebrating over a decade of service in Central Texas, our doctors are equipped to handle a wide range of issues, whether it's your foot or ankle, orthopedic spine care, your hand or wrist, knee and shoulder pain, or if you're in need of our arthritis or total joint clinic. Come see us at the new Baylor Scott and White Ted and Sue Getterman Sports and Orthopedic Center. Trusted doctors at Baylor Trust, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Our goal is to get you back in the game.
Hey, this is Bryce Petty, former starting quarterback and two-time Big 12 champion, and I know firsthand the importance of being in top shape both on and off the field. So listen up, men. If you're feeling beat down day in and day out and looking for that high-performance edge that separates the men from the boys, then look no further than the Petty Clinic Low T in Waco. Petty Clinic is a comprehensive men's healthcare clinic with an atmosphere catering to men. Board-certified Dr. Kent Petty has a special interest in offering the highest quality medical care to men of all ages. Some of the services offered include screening and treatment for low testosterone or thyroid, infertility, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, while offering comprehensive wellness exams and complete men's health lab panels. High performance men, remember, it's not just a Petty thing. This is Bryce Petty, encouraging you to reach out and Google search Petty Clinic Low T or go to pettycliniclowt.com and get your complimentary lab screening today.
You want to know why Stonewood Dental is so successful? Listen to what happy customers have to say.
It's pleasant. It's different than any other dentist office. I really feel like they care. And it's not that you're here for 2 hours waiting on someone to take care of you. It's quick and easy, and I bring my kids, and my kids love being here too. They really love the treasure box. Staff is really nice and accommodating, real friendly. You feel more like home. It's not sterile looking. Everybody has their own personalized rooms with decorations and decor, and they'll even have a blanket for you when it's cold. I've recommended people to actually come here, and they are patients now. I really love it here. It feels like family.
Learn more, stonewood-dental.com.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Paulie, give me some of your tots. No, go find your own. Come on, give me some of your tots. No, I'm freaking starved. I didn't get to eat anything today.
Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122.
Brian, don't be jealous that I've been chatting online with Dave all day.
Your place for a Baylor take on your lunch break. Here's Drake Toll.
Welcome back into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. Happy Friday, folks. We're on the cusp of the Sweet 16 tomorrow. It is Baylor and Villanova in the afternoon. And how about it, too? You got Arkansas and Oral Roberts. The winner of Baylor and Nova squares off against the winner of Arkansas, Eric Musselman and company, against Paul Mills and Oral Roberts. And joining the show today, making time out of his schedule, formerly with 103.7 The Buzz in Central Arkansas, 501 Country, Pat Bradley, SEC Network analyst, joins the show. Pat, thanks for coming on.
Anytime, my brother. How you been?
Oh, baby, it's
looks good.
Thanks, man. We got it all set up here. It's no. What was it? What avenue? What is the Buzz? Well, I'm missing it.
Well, the Buzz has been doing big things, right? I mean, I know you're right there. It's like neck and neck. You know what I mean? You guys are gonna be battling a national scene soon.
Telling you what, we're upset-minded. It's March. Anything can happen, but I think they got us by a hair right now. We're building, though. We're getting it there. The shooter, man, I grew up listening to this guy. He's one of the best out there now at SEC Network. And, Pat, I got to know, you've been around this Arkansas program closer than almost anybody. As a former player, oh, my goodness. You got the front-facing hog. You'll be ostracized by most folks if they see that. Tell me, though, Pat, this Arkansas team, Eric Musselman and company, what makes them tick?
Well, first, he emphasizes defense. I think that's where everything starts. And you look at the teams that are in the tournament now, they can all defend to a certain degree. And you have to be able to do that. At this point, you're going against teams defensively that are sound, fundamental, take care of the basketball, all those things. What has been able to separate them is their scoring depth. So he's been able to get guys. Everyone thinks of Moses Moody, probably freshman, averaging 17, 18 a game. Obviously, their number one offensive weapon. But if it's not him, they have multiple guys that can score. J.D. Note can go for 30. Justin Smith can go for 30. And you have guys coming off the bench. Desi Sills that can knock down some shots. Jalen Tate, 6'6" point guard, can get you 25. So I think really one of the great things they do is scoring. They have scoring depth, but they also can defend. They're very versatile on the defensive end.
PB, I've been listening to some of the radio shows over in Central Arkansas still, and I know Acree, a lot of those guys, they're looking forward to the possibility of an Arkansas-Baylor matchup, and that's an analyst's job. That's the big one that folks want to talk about, the Elite Eight matchup. But does it feel like, with what you've been in and around Eric Musselman and this team, they could be overlooking Oral Roberts?
Well, they've played them before this year, and they were down by 10 points in December. And Eric Musselman said you can't really take much from that game, and you might not be able to because Oral Roberts had a guy who now is injured, so he's not playing. Arkansas's freshmen really factor into that game. Now you got two of those guys that are starting that weren't starting. So, yeah, I think if you look at the stat sheet, probably you can't take much from it, although I can. What I think is important, though, Ohio State, maybe they overlooked Oral Roberts. Florida is up 10. They play not to lose, maybe not understanding that Oral Roberts has a couple of guys that can hurt you. They can score. So I think that the information and the value that the Hogs have against Oral Roberts is that they have played him before. They know how good that kid Max Asmus is, and he is good. O'Banner is good. So I don't think they will underestimate them, which is very important because – the other thing, too, is you look at those two games that Oral Roberts won. Ohio State and Florida combined to turn over 36 times. 36 times. Florida had like 20-something turnovers. So if you can't do those simple fundamental things, you're not going to win. And Oral Roberts is a good team. Everybody that makes the tournament is a good team. They can beat you. And that's what happened. Maybe they did overlook them, but I know the Hogs won't.
Pat, you got an Arkansas team that knocked off Colgate after trailing by 14 at one point against a tube of toothpaste. They come back and they win the thing. I mean, now you got them against Oral Roberts. Kind of the same deal. Folks are murmuring, hey, what if we got another upset here? What if Cinderella keeps dancing? What do you think Arkansas got out of that first matchup against Colgate and then the game against Texas Tech with a close win down the stretch?
Well, what happened to Arkansas, and they started the SEC season stumbling out of the gate. But people don't realize they played Missouri at the time, top 15 team, Alabama, LSU, and then Tennessee. Those were their 4 losses. So through that time, they figured out, and what happened with Colgate, and sometimes the Razorbacks will start slow. You might see this against Oral Roberts, where their shot selection just isn't there. When they decide and when they get back to good shot selection, be patient. I'm talking about contested shots. And again, when you get this deep in the tournament, you can't afford to shoot bad shots because your opponent is well balanced and good. They're going to take advantage of that. The margin of error is very slim. So that to me is going to be the key. Whether it, like, you want to get to the rim, right? I think layups, free throws, dunks, those things win games, open threes. But you can't attack the rim and try to finish if you're not tough enough or strong enough. So penetrate and kick. So those things, I think shot selection for them, because they're going to come defensive intensity. They're going to play defense. It's going to be their shot selection that's going to be able to put them over the top.
PB, obviously Arkansas is the more athletic team across the board, top to bottom, than Oral Roberts. That said, so is Ohio State and so is Florida. So when you go into this game, this matchup in the Sweet 16, what is it that's going to put Arkansas over the hump and give them the win?
Well, don't turn it over. How many times did I tell you? Were you listening?
36.
What? 36. So now 18 turnovers if you average them out, right? That doesn't help. Ohio State picked the wrong day. They shot terribly. As a matter of fact, at the end of that game, they had 2 attempts at the three-point line to win the game. So, but if you take, just for an example, and this, like I said, may not have anything to do with this game, but the first game they played Oral Roberts. Since they're playing them again, we'll use that as an example. In the first half, Hogs are down 10. 2 of 14. The Razorbacks were 2 of 14 from the three-point line. The second half, they went to the free throw line over 20 times and scored 36 points in the paint. So the message at halftime, I wasn't in the locker room, but the message at halftime, I'm assuming from Eric Musselman, was, you have an advantage, fellas. Now, I'm not telling you to come down and mow everybody down and get 20 offensive fouls, but use your strength, your athleticism, get to the rim, put pressure on them, and that's going to be somewhat of our advantage. So if they can get to that kind of basketball, because when they're playing their best, they do attack the rim. They're a high free throw shooting team. With that being said, they can shoot the three. Again, they have guys in the personnel where they can come and make 10, 12, 14 threes in a game if they're making their shots.
For those that are just joining us, the shoot-up, Pat Bradley joining us from the SEC Network, talking college basketball and the prospect of Baylor and Arkansas squaring off in the Elite Eight. Pat, when you think about that, when you think about, hey, Baylor and Arkansas, they might just run into one another in the next game, and that's what the odds say will happen. What are some of the 30,000-foot view for you, some of the things you'd see out of that game, you think?
Well, here's going to be the challenge and why Arkansas's got a chance, okay? Baylor, we know that trio of guards are so good, and that's like they work their weight in gold in college basketball. Like, everybody wants one guy that can defend the perimeter, handle the ball, make shots, get in the lane, dribble penetration, create for others. Everyone's dying for one guy. They got like 3 of them, okay? With Teague, Mitchell, and my boy Jared Butler, right? They all shoot 40% above from the three. I think that Arkansas's got the defensive personnel. Think about this for a second. 6'6" Jalen Tate, 6'6" Moses Moody. Devo Davis is 6'3", but he's got a 6'9" wingspan. And it may, if he doesn't clip his fingernails that day, it may be 6'10" wingspan. So my point is they have certainly the length and quickness to try to slow down those guards. Now, but when you're playing Baylor, their offense is so good, you're going to have to be able to put up a good, like, you're not going to win against Baylor scoring 70 points. You're just not going to do it. So you have to make sure that you have one of your best offensive games as well as one of your best defensive games. Again, the margin for error is very slim.
Pat, last question for you here before we get to our Bear games. When you think about, okay, Baylor and Arkansas, say Elite Eight on Monday, they square off. Is there a certain way you lean right now from what you've seen from both teams in the tournament? Do you think, hey, it's a nail-biter down the stretch, or do you like one of these two teams to have a little bit of separation?
I think it'll be close. Baylor certainly has the advantage just because when you've got guys that have been through it, they got experience, and like I said, they got 3 guards like that that have been through it. So I'm throwing, the Razorbacks are throwing out 3 freshmen, 2 grad transfers, who had never played with each other together. And yes, they got guys coming off the bench, Desi Sills and a few other guys that have played some minutes. So the advantage certainly is there with Baylor. And Baylor's got size, too, that they can throw out there. But one thing we do know is that the attitude, the toughness, Arkansas's got it, man. They're not, very rarely they're going to get blown out because they can play different styles. They can grind it out with you. They can slow it down. They can pound it in the paint, as well as get out and transition and score. So as much as I say Baylor's got a slight advantage, I'm calling this a one-possession game. I'm saying Moses Moody's got it on the right wing. Jab step, rip through, one dribble left, back, step back, jump shot, wins the game at the buzzer.
Wow, over Davion Mitchell.
Baylor fans. Go home, Baylor fans.
Go home. No bias in that whatsoever. That is a real analytical evaluation of what's going to happen on Monday, right?
That's it. Isolate Moses on the wing.
That's the way it's going to go down. Mark it right there at 1:58 on Friday.
It's a switch, and it's not like Jared Butler on him or something.
Yeah, something like that. Hey, PB, before we get you out of here, Bear Games question of the day today. I'm going to tailor this one to you. You can go to one steakhouse with one employee that's still at 1037 The Buzz, and I'll tell you, I'm going to take it off the table. You can't say butcher shop. Where are you going and who you taking?
Oh, man, Al Watkins at the butcher shop.
I know.
One of the first places I went to in Fayetteville when I got on campus, which is 3 hours from Little Rock, Northwest Arkansas, was Herman's Rib House. Herman's Rib House, the legendary. Listen, they got steaks as thick as your head. They got ribs. I'm telling you, they're 6 feet long. And I couldn't pick. Listen, I wouldn't take any from the Buzz because none of them would pay, right? I'd be stuck with the bill.
Wow, he's going alone. You're taking yourself to Herman's. That is free pub right there. Hey, PB, last two for you right here. We're doing the Disney Movie Madness in honor of March Madness. Today, we got Aladdin and Hercules. You ever seen them?
I'm going to have to go with Aladdin. I have to go with Aladdin.
Locking it in.
I like Hercules. I like the movie Hercules, because I can eat like that guy Hercules in that movie. Not the big muscle man, but I'm going with Aladdin. I love that guy. He's got a flying rug. I'll go with that guy anywhere.
Going a little new school here. How about either Frozen or Bolt? The dog movie, Bolt.
I got a little soft spot for Frozen. The song, what is it called? Let
it go. Let it fly. Something like that.
Let it go. I got friends who actually got it memorized. That they walk around one of those electronic microphones.
And you call them friends, and you still call them friends.
Yeah, I know. Listen, they're on their way out. Believe me.
I love
Actually,
it.
no, they're in because I like that song.
They're in. Lock it in.
Elsa.
Baby. PB, hey, listen, if you ever quit at SEC Network and decide you got to move to Waco and have a radio show, I got an empty chair right here beside me.
Buddy, I've been waiting for the invite to West Texas. Trust me, I love it down there.
Bring it on. Hey, PB, thanks for coming on the show today.
Cowboy boots, though. That's all I ask for.
Hey, and a hat if you don't mind.
Yes, there you go.
I love it. Thanks again, Pat.
All right, brother. Thanks, Jake.
See ya. Again, that's Pat Bradley, the shooter, SEC Network analyst. How about it? This today. Oh, you know what that means.
Later, guys.
How about it? What a week. Baylor's in the Sweet 16 tomorrow. Gosh, it doesn't get better than this. I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims, Andrew Roberts, and Jack McKenzie in studio today. Thanks for sticking around with us on Up Tempo. Hey, how about it? Baylor, Villanova, Sweet 16 tomorrow. Baylor, Michigan, Sweet 16 tomorrow. We're going to break it all down on Monday. Join us again at 11 a.m. This has been Up Tempo.